All right. Welcome back to the Lazy Susan, everyone, where we rotate around topics of gaming, movies, shows, anything we like to discuss and talk about. I'm Derek, here with Adam and Todd as always, and our guest Matt is back again this week. So, yeah, Todd's back again from Japan. If you want to go ahead and take it away and tell us a little bit about your trip, Todd.
Yeah, it was dope. We're back here in the States. I was gone for 14 days altogether. We hit 6 different cities, if I can count, and it was amazing. Honestly, like there was everyone's like, "Hey, what's your peak? What's your pit?" And I'm like, just being there was the peak. There was no pit. I guess the only thing that sucks is literally travel on the way there and on the way back. Always on the way back for the most part. But no, the trip was dope. I absolutely loved it.
What was your favorite part?
What I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did was the Japanese onsen, like the full going through the actual experience of like sleeping on the floor in the Ryu Hotel. I think that's how you say it, Ryu Hotel. I can't say that correctly, but it's like an original experience. They have the whole thing is all on the ground. You have to take your shoes off when you enter and stuff like that. And then we were able to go to the actual onsen, which they don't allow tattoos or like anything like that. They're very like strict about that stuff. So there were other tattoo friendly onsens around that people were able to go to in our group that had tattoos, because most people have tattoos nowadays. Or if you couldn't go to the one of those, you could just go to like a mini mart right down the street and get like the tape that's your skin color to make it seem like you don't have tattoos. That's what most people did. But it was a whole thing of like, oh, now I have to spend 15 minutes wrapping every portion of my body because I have tattoos
Right.
everywhere. So it was really dope to be like, hey, I'm just going, I'll see you guys there. So but that
Why are
was a
they
dope
against
experience.
tattoos?
I honestly don't know. We asked about that, and I think it was just something that was like originally traditionally like how it was, but
Okay.
also tattoos are kind of big in their culture. So I don't know if it was like to keep out a specific type of people back in the day, because typically if you had tattoos, you were
Yakuza
probably,
type.
yeah, yakuza or
Oh,
something to do with like war or whatever. And it's a peaceful, it's a public bathhouse. Like it's literally just supposed to be a very peaceful tranquility kind of thing. And yeah, the one that we were at this specific hotel had an indoor area and an outdoor area. So we were literally just out in the open looking at Mount Fuji in the distance. Like it was
That
crazy.
picture is so sick too.
that was really
Yeah, that
cool.
Looking at it.
was
Yeah.
the first day we got there. It was really cloudy. So we didn't get to see much. Just like in the distance, you could basically see like a little bit of the silhouette. But when we woke up the next morning at like 8 in the morning, clear skies, everyone was like, yo, wake up, you got to see this. And it looks like a painting. Like it was crazy. It was
That's
crazy.
It's
crazy.
awesome.
Is
Other
that
than
your
that,
favorite trip? I'm assuming you've been to multiple different places,
well,
done different.
I've only been to that's I was just telling this to Brandon and Roman and the other chat. I was like, I don't have much to compare it to because I've only been to Thailand and Japan as
Well, you've
far
been
as
to
being out
like
of the
some
country.
sightful places out within the country too.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. um I don't know. Like even comparing it to Thailand, I can't say one was better than the other because they were both two wildly different experiences. But I did love it for everything that it was. It was really awesome being in Tokyo in the beginning. That felt a lot like New York City, doing literally like running through the navigation system of their subway and doing all the public transportation, because that's basically what you do when you're there. You get this card called a Suica card, and you can use it basically everywhere. You can use it at like a 7-Eleven, you can use it at vending machines, and it's mainly used for public transportation. So it's very easy to navigate. Once you are using like Google Maps or something like that, it tells you what line to get on, what line to get off, and whatnot. So it was really easy to navigate through Tokyo and seeing like all the big lights and 3D billboards and all that stuff. And then going from that, the next city was Hakone, which was, I can't even call it a city. It was very much like a small town in the mountains, it felt like. So it was cool seeing like the contrast of big city lights and then going to like countryside and stuff like that. Because when you're in the city, everyone was like, oh, how is Japanese housing and whatnot? you don't see any houses in the city. They have huge buildings of just apartments and apartments and apartments. So outside on the city skirts, or like the countryside, is what it looked like there. I didn't see like a lot of farms and whatnot, but what I would presume is like the countryside is where you see more just housing and stuff like that. But yeah, it was great seeing the different contrast between the cities and whatnot. You can tell that wherever you're at, they value things differently. Like in Kyoto, that was like the most reserved area, to where people were not really that crazy with clothes and stuff like that. We saw a lot of people in kimonos. Granted, that a lot of that stuff is like rental stuff, and Japan culture is huge into photography. Like, it felt like every 10 people we were out, every 10 people we saw, there was somebody with like a nicer camera, like nicer than a regular camera, like a good photography camera. And they're all like walking around taking candid photos and stuff like that. So even though they're not tourists, they were still out there taking pictures. Like, I saw somebody like crawled up in a bush like in the park taking a picture of a spider. And I was like, cool, like that's your thing. That's your thing. So yeah, it was dope. It was dope. There's a lot of different cultures out there. Even though it's a smaller area, you can tell that a lot of different places value a lot of different things, even though like in the grand scheme of things they have like the same values. So it was amazing. Yeah,
it was cool when I got to see you in the Shibuya area through their
that live camp.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah,
that
the
was
Shibuya crossing. I wasn't expecting to actually
hilarious.
see you. Yeah. Or well, I wasn't expecting you to see me, because there were so many people. But yeah, it was funny. And then I realized once I saw the recording, we were walking towards what wasn't the camera. I was like, oh, damn, we weren't actually walking towards it, but you could visibly see us and whatnot. So, yeah, it was cool.
Sick.
It was funny because there were these two people there that they were our friends, and I'm just now learning that this guy is going to end up moving to, like, that's his goal, is to move to Japan. And I was like, that's kind of crazy, cool. Because I even said, to this point, I still don't know what the sound of his voice is. Like, he didn't talk. I never saw like any emotion out of him. So I was like, okay, that's weird that you're like all ready to be gung ho for that. But we were at Disney Sea, one of the free days in Tokyo, because Disney Sea is only in Tokyo. That's the only Disney out there. Like, Disneyland is a couple other ones and whatnot, but Disney Sea is specific to Tokyo. So that's why we went to that one. And her friend didn't go to that, and she ended up being a little bit salty about that. And she was like, yeah, we went to Shibuya Crossing today, and it's literally just a crosswalk. And I was like, yes, but that, like, why are you mad about that? Like, it's literally, what are you talking about? So it was really funny. And to actually see it, because I care about that, it was dope.
Yeah. How was
I got to hear the Tokyo Drift theme song inside a club. It wasn't in Tokyo. It was technically in Kyoto, but it was in Japan, so I'll take it. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Sure.
That's funny as hell, man.
Disney Sea was amazing, though, to go back to that. Yeah, Disney Sea was amazing. And I've never, oddly enough, been to any Disney ever in my life. So it's cool to say that my first experience was at Disney Sea in Japan.
That is awesome.
That's so fucking cool, man.
Did you get to go to Mario Land or no?
No. So there was confusion with that, because Mario or Nintendo Land or World, I can't remember which one is out there, that is in Universal Studios, which is in Osaka. So we were going to go on one of our free days in Osaka, but there was a disconnect between us having to buy tickets to Universal and then get in to buy separate tickets to Nintendo Land. And I was like, well, if we're not doing one thing, I don't want to not do the other. So I was like, I'm not going to buy tickets to Universal if we're not going to Universal and only going to. So it was a whole thing there. So we ended up just doing something else with our free. I think that was the day that we ended up just basically walking around and going to a bunch of like local shops and doing all of our shopping, because we got a bunch of clothing, a bunch of like different souvenirs and stuff like that.
So did you not end up in Osaka at all?
No, we were in Osaka for 4 days. So
okay.
Yeah, we did all of our shopping basically in Osaka, because that was our last stop on our trip was Osaka. And I was like, I don't want to be lugging around souvenirs from city to city. So we gathered a couple different things as we were going. But then once we got into Osaka, we didn't like or that's when we like fully did all of our shopping. Like we spent like $200-300 at a clothing shop doing like just getting stuff like this shirt right here. The Mount Fuji shirt is like they have this brand called Uniqlo out there, and they have every store has something that's specific to that store for that area. So like this one you had to get in like the Mount Fuji area. There are other places that had like the fish market and stuff like that. So depending on where you were, it was like specific to that. But yeah, that's when we did all of our like souvenir shopping. I can show you
like
my favorite
Osaka's like my favorite city. That if I could go, that's the place I would end up hanging out in.
Osaka is the party city. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Like everyone says like, oh,
there's supposed to be a really some of those travel shows where they're like eating all over the place, and apparently it's just like incredibly famous for Osaka to do like a whole nightlife of crawling through restaurants and eating at
absolutely
like, each different place through the city.
Absolutely. And that's exactly how it was. We were out in Kyoto, and literally just being out in the streets, we're Americans as is, so we're already drunk and loud, like we're just being obnoxious.
Yeah.
We're about to walk into this club, and the security guard comes up to us. He's like, "Oh, there's people sleeping upstairs." That's not how it is in Osaka. Like people came up to us that were drunk and loud and yelling and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like they have different values in different cities, but even though like they're still about the same stuff. So it was really cool to get that contrast too. And our tour guide was
just cut out again.
Oh damn. Our tour guide she's actually from Chile originally, but she's lived in a bunch of different places, and she's been in Osaka for 5 years now, and that's like her home right now. So it was cool going back to like her hometown, her being able to show us her stomping ground, and like she's like, "Oh, this is my favorite bar," and every time we went out, they knew who she was. They were like, "Oh, Vivi!" Like they're so excited to see her. She was really cool. She was getting drunk as fuck with us the entire time. Honestly, it was dope.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Matt's not here, but I'll show you my favorite shit that I got, my souvenir.
Hey.
That's cool.
Oh
the full tang?
Like, hey. I had to get that shit, boy. I got the certificate of authenticity for it and everything.
Is it full tang?
Dope.
No, it's not supposed to be used like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's sharp, like touching it, like it'll do something. I'm not gonna say it's sharp, but like it'll hack something.
Right, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not meant to be like actually used. Oh, here you go, Matt.
Oh my God, is there a dragon on the blade?
No, unfortunately. On the handle though.
Okay.
That works. That works.
Get a pass.
Shit's badass.
Fuck yeah, man.
It's like my favorite one. And I got so nervous because I got it's not a full length sword because we didn't have a full length suitcase, and obviously you can't bring that on your carry-on. Like I had to check that bag and declare it and all that. So I got that one because I like the color and I like the way it looked, and it was a shorter length sword. And we get to our fucking hotel, and I put it next to the suitcase, and it's like just that much taller, and I'm like, no, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But luckily one of our friends had enough room in their suitcase, and I just took like
that's cool. Good that's awesome of them.
Yeah,
that's super
and
nice of them.
He bought ninja stars himself, so he's like, yeah, I gotta do the same thing. So
that's awesome.
That is awesome. That's so sick, dude.
Yeah, it was dope. I definitely recommend you guys doing. Oh, I got some candy. Still brought some stuff back.
Nice.
That's shitty to see, but yeah. There we
go. There you go. Yeah.
Like some great gummies. The food out there was amazing. It's, a lot of that was another thing I was talking about is like their food just felt cleaner, for lack of a better term. Like even when we went to McDonald's when we were in the train station trying out like their menu and stuff, that food didn't feel like nasty, greasy kind of thing. Like it was still like, oh, this is a good burger kind of thing.
Right.
Exactly. They don't have all those additives and shit.
Right. That's awesome.
Missing out on all the plastic, huh?
Yeah.
You got to try Wagyu, right? So.
Oh my God. It literally dissolves in your mouth. Like absolutely just, yeah. We went to that specific, because everywhere, I'm not going to say everywhere, but there's always Wagyu places everywhere. But that one was specifically like the A5 good shit. So
Right.
we got 4. It's a skewer of 4 cubes, and then we got like this huge like king crab leg that was like it seemed like half a crab basically, and it was like it ended up translating to like 80 American dollars, and that was like street food. Yeah.
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah, but it was
quite the experience, though.
worth every penny. And I was,
sure.
If we were back in Tokyo before we left, I would have gone to that same place and got it again.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. We saw raw horse meat at the rotating sushi bar.
Oh, shit.
You didn't try it?
I did not. I did
go,
not.
man.
I tried a lot of stuff. I tried a lot of stuff, but I didn't want to get like the scurvy or something. I don't know.
It's awesome. And then you're like, man, I can't even find this anywhere now.
Yeah,
right.
That is possible. I did try a lot of interesting seafoods. Like there was, I think it's called takazaki. It's like a ball with like, the mayonnaise and sauce on top, and it's got like the squid inside.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Was not a fan of that.
Oh no.
Was not a fan. And I like squid too, but like she was explaining like, oh, if it doesn't have these textures, then it's not takazaki. Like that's not real takazaki. I think I could be butchering this. I'm sorry if I am. But yeah, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I tried it, and I was like, okay, it's not for me, but all right.
At least you tried it.
Oh yeah. If it was in front of me, I definitely tried it. And all the 7-Eleven food was amazing. We ate there literally every day. It was funny because one of the guys was giving us shit. He was like, I don't know how you're doing that, because we were eating like the egg salad, the tuna, like all those random sandwiches. There was an teriyaki chicken and egg salad one. I didn't like the chicken in that one, but the egg salad ones were phenomenal. I don't know what it was, but those were great. They had like, they called it American dogs, but corn dogs, and they were delicious.
Right.
Freedom
dogs.
Yeah, they had a bunch of.
Were there any American themed bars?
Yes. So it's weird. Like all of the bars kind of like have their own things. If you're going to like clubs or something like that, like, oh, this one specifies in K-pop, this one specifies in hip hop, or this one's early R&Bs. Like there's a lot of places that are specifically like that, but we didn't go to any one that was like specifically American themed, but we went to bars that ended up having American bartenders. Like this guy was from, actually, I think he was from Australia, but he lived in America for a really long time. And then he moved to, he went to visited Japan, and he was like, oh, I absolutely love this. And then he just uprooted and started a bar there. And like we went there, and everything in there was like very Americanized. Like he had a mini me statue and all that stuff. It was a gay bar, actually. Jacob and Jason found it, and they're like, oh, let's go to this place. And it ended up being like one of the funnest places we went to that entire time. So that ended up being really cool. And there was another one where we met a guy that was from, I can't remember now because I was drunk, but it was either Boston or Austin. So can't remember which one it was, but and he was American. So I guess that's like American themed because it was all like Americanized stuff around there. But every place has like a karaoke bar. So you can listen to like a bunch of Japanese music in there if you wanted to, depending on like the crowd that's going around. It was so funny. We came across an Outback Steakhouse, and we were like, wait, what the hell? That was like the one thing that we weren't expecting, of like all the different, because we saw KFC, Taco Bell, a bunch of different like Americanized stuff. But I was like, Outback, I don't know why. That one's just weird to me.
Oh man, I totally forgot to ask you to try out. I think McDonald's in Japan has that chocolate fries, where they have that chocolate syrup that they put on the fries.
I didn't get the chocolate fries. We got the Samurai Mac, which is like awesome. It's like it's either soy sauce or teriyaki based or something like that. And then I got their like their version of, I think it was the McChicken. It was like tempura chicken with like whatever their like spicy aioli that they put on there. And then they're really big on floats. They have a Coke float, a melon float, and I think an orange float. So
nice.
Yeah, I fuck with floats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially an
Yeah.
orange float. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of the floats, but when we went to one of the places in Hiroshima, in Hiroshima, because that like we went out on a ferry to like an island basically, and our tour guide was like, "Oh, if you like oysters, you got to go to this place. They got the best oysters around." And Anne loves oysters, so we went there. We got like the oyster platter. It was started off with raw oysters, and then we did boiled and fried, and then I think there was one more. I can't remember. No. The boiled one was just over rice. So I was like, okay, that one's really plain to me. I didn't like the boiled one. The raw ones are my personal favorite, so I just loved those ones. The fried ones were good. They had good flavor, but at the end, I had this vanilla lemon float, and it's literally like soda water, lemon juice, and then they put a scoop of vanilla on there to make it like cream soda, because that was the name. It was like lemon cream soda. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I took a sip and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And I'm not big on ice cream, but it was one of the best things that I had out there that was like crafted like that.
It sounds good, man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where like that's their craft and they fucking stick to it. We went to this bar that was basically, they say it's like a hidden speakeasy and stuff like that, but it's on the name. It literally says bar right above it. So it's, you walk through a telephone booth, which the telephone booth is the door. So that's what people are saying. Oh, it's a hidden speakeasy basically. But
I saw that video. It was sick.
Yeah. And the guy in there makes all handcrafted cocktails. Like there's no menu. You just go in there and you're like, hey, I like this, or I feel like Christmas, and he'll make you a Christmas themed drink or something like that. So
like Christmas.
Yeah.
Was
So
that the
we
guy
went
who
in,
sounded like
yes,
Justin
he literally
Long?
sounded like Justin Long
Oh
from
my
Zack
god,
and Miri
I
Make a
would
Porno.
kill for that.
Oh my god, it was great. Like I was like, I told everyone in my group that, and no one understood the reference. I was like, I can't believe the people that I'm here with right now. I was so disappointed, but it was great. He knew exactly what he was talking about. He explained the drink afterwards. I was like, I like tequila and sour, and he made me this great fucking drink. I can't even remember what was in it. I recorded it as he was saying it, but yeah, he the people that were next to us, they got a coffee drink. He brings out this dope like globe steamer that bubbled up, and then he had the coffee on top dry, but the way it dropped into the water, it was like a whole science experiment, and it takes him like 6 minutes to make your drink. But again, it's like that's his craft, that's his art, that's what he opened that bar himself and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's also
it really
weird.
starts helping you understand anime, because if it takes them 6 minutes to power up for something, it's the same exact idea. They love it.
Exactly. Like you can't rush perfection, man.
That's
like
man.
Quality, man.
Hey,
that's what it is.
Quality.
And it's funny going to all these places where they like go above and beyond for you, and it's a non-tipping culture. Like they don't know anything about that. They're like, it's almost insulting. They're like, wait,
it's insulting.
Why? Yeah. They're like, why do you think that I need this money or something like that? Like, yeah, it's really weird, and
that's crazy.
Being like catered to like at a high level like that, not being like, hey, here's a little bit extra. So it's interesting.
Yeah, the no tipping thing I've seen in like Haley watches those cooking shows and everything where they go all around different countries, and a lot of them are not cool with people tipping.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even think it's because of that. I think it's just something that never reached their culture. Like talking about it to even like locals, like, because we had tour guides that were from there for specific things, and they're like, yeah, don't do that. Like that's just something that we have never done in our lifetime, and it just it literally just a culture. Like that's how they were brought up.
Yeah. Today we also wanted to talk about Summer Game Fest. I know that's starting this weekend.
Yeah, so we just got our big reveal on that, or the big main showcase. I guess next tomorrow will be mainly just kind of going over what was discussed and shown today. I thought they were going to have more, but apparently this was the main one, and then we'll get like more diving into everything that they talked about, and then Sunday we'll get the Xbox showcase.
Okay.
Did we know that this was coming out? Because I feel like this is another one that was like, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing this.
The Summer Game Fest?
Yeah.
They
Did
do
we
it
know
every.
it was this weekend?
Um,
Because I thought
I
everything
knew
was
about
like,
it like
oh,
a.
Call of Duty's being announced at Summer Game Fest /
Right.
Xbox.
I kind of knew about it like 2 weeks before it happened. So I would have like better like know how or know when it was gonna pop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was.
It's not really
Yeah.
like advertised.
Yeah, but
like,
he does it
super
every year.
well.
So this is like Jeff Keighley, the host. It's the guy who does the game awards, and he also does like another game thing, I think, over in Europe or whatever. And he said that's happening in August or October or something like that.
Hmm.
So we'll have like another gaming event coming up then. But we had that showcase today, and out of recent showcases, this one was decent. I didn't hate it. We've
I
had worse.
honestly missed most of it. I didn't see much of it because I was busy doing stuff as soon as we got back. But
Right on.
I saw
Yeah,
your
exactly.
excitement in the chat, and everyone seemed to be
Yeah, I mean, I said
raving
there's
over some
a
stuff.
lot of positives in there, definitely.
Yeah.
So tell me about this 8-person co-op.
Yeah, the no more room in hell game. I like the name too.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
still has kind of almost a beta kind of look, really, in the enemy NPC design. It seems like they're a little maybe repetitive. So
Okay.
I'm hoping maybe they kind of tighten some of that look up a little bit. But overall, I think the gameplay is right. Like, and I've made this point earlier. Like, what we're really craving for is something that'll go beyond the standard 4-player format, right? And 8-player co-op, I think, is right in that great sweet spot.
Right.
That's exactly where I want it to be. With
Right.
I usually can pull like 5-6 people online, no problem. And so to be able to accommodate that is great.
I would have
Yeah.
went
What's
crazy if
the
they.
gameplay? Like, what kind of game is it?
So it's a zombie game, right? It's a zombie survival game. So it's also
Oh.
they're trying to hybrid as a zombie extraction game. So it might be like a last man standing kind of thing to complete
Oh, that's kind of
objectives.
cool.
If it's that, then I think we're in really good shape. I think that's a great way to do this kind of thing. And
Is it like a shooter?
yeah, hmm
First
I can
person?
try showing it. We'll see how it goes.
yeah. If you can pull it up, that'd be
Oh yeah, we'll
great.
do our little test run now. That'll be perfect.
All right. Second game in the series too.
Oh, this is a sequel?
Yeah, apparently. I never heard about the first one.
Oh, they're fast zombies.
Uh-huh.
If you do this right with little submissions, it would make this great.
Right?
Yeah.
Shit! Here they come!
I like the damage.
Yeah, but see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the sprites are a little generic.
Yeah.
This isn't actual gameplay, though. I doubt this is what the game looks like. Oh, permadeath's always a good thing. That looked like gameplay. That wasn't great. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's cool. That's supposed to be one of us.
Right?
So we're talking like this is where everybody has their own kind of mission, like jobs in this mission, like Last Night on Earth kind of thing. Is that why there's 8 people?
Probably not. So like
No,
at least not
okay.
specifically. I think this would be like your role is kind of more defined by your gear, right? By what you got equipped. So like if you got the sledgehammer, maybe you're the people who can bust on a door or something of that nature, right? Whereas if you got the shotgun, like you're on crowd control, right? Like you're trying to do when these kind of jobs. It'll probably be more like that style than it is like an actual lockdown classes kind of mode. Is my takeaway. It seems like they're gonna try and mix like a DayZ kind of Tarkov style thing, right? With the zombies are there and you're trying to pull off some mission and then extract with most likely. and it'll be a permanent death scene, for each time you go into the map. But it'll
Yeah,
probably
you're not gonna be able to
you'll
get your
flip
shit
or
back,
whatever.
kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from what this is going to play like, which I'm still excited about. I think that's pretty cool, especially if there is, I mean, I don't think there would be no mention of PvP, so but even without that, I'd still be fine with running.
Yeah.
that
Oh
game.
yeah, no, it doesn't seem
It
like it needs
seems
PvP.
like it's kind of Dying Light-esque, kind of, to where like you're going in, you have a specific mission, you're doing
Exactly,
that, and then getting
exactly.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted,
Right. Like you
Dying
go
Light's
in there, you got to turn on this
open.
generator or
Yeah.
whatever, and then get out or something
Yeah.
like that. Right. Those kinds of missions are still have great abilities there. Good stuff.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
a
pretty cool.
nice one to kind of like. Was that like one of the first games they showed?
It was
So
like
that
the first one they
pretty-
showed. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that game has some depth, it would have staying power. It fills a niche of that 8-player, that 8-player ability.
Yeah, once again, that thing just 8-player goes so
Gives
far.
you so much
so
freedom.
tired of these
Yeah.
3 fucking
Exactly.
player co-op bullshit
It's not
thing we
8
always
or
get.
nothing, right? Like you can have up to 8 people,
Up
kind
to
of thing.
8, right.
Okay,
Up to
that's
8,
good.
right. But yeah, I mean, we're talking in an age where so many of us have our own Discord servers and can now fill more than the 4-person slots. We have more than 3 other friends, so having
Right.
something allowed to accommodate that is great. Especially because the other option you had is like usually MMO or something like that. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The next one was the Quidditch game. I only put it there so we
Yeah.
could talk about it, just because one, I'm still a little salty that Hogwarts
was.
Legacy didn't have Quidditch, and I think this is
So
the reason
dumb.
why. Is they were like, well, we're making a separate Quidditch game. We're not going to
Should have
make
all been one game.
It should have been all together. I don't know why they didn't. It would have been
'Cause you-
cooler to see this Quidditch game be revealed as DLC for Hogwarts Legacy. Like, hey, we're
Yeah,
bringing Quidditch in. You can actually play Quidditch, and it'll be like online. You can play.
it would have so much more replay value. Like people would still be playing Legacy more than they are now if they were able to play. I mean, I think anyway.
Right.
Especially if we could do like a little bit on, like the only online they have for it would be.
No, if there was an
so
online dedicated to you playing the specific players or specific positions, and you were against other people playing those specific positions, that would be dope. It'd
'Cause
be like
Hogwarts-
my
Well, right.
player on 2K.
Oh, keep it down before EA hears you. All right, just relax.
See, like, what you call it? Hogwarts Legacy graphically looked amazing, and I would have loved to seen us play Quidditch like that. The mechanics of flying was fun. It would have been so much fun. But I don't know if you guys even caught a glimpse of this one, but it came off very like Sims like looking, and
That
like
sucks.
appeal like it. The visuals on it kind of looked like a mobile game. Like it would have. I was half
Aw.
expecting them to pitch this as a mobile game as far as the way the graphics were. It was very cartoony slash, So I was
That's
kind of
ugly.
weary about it. So I guess we'll still see how it goes. I don't think it's something I'd get right away. I might just like look and see how it's going. I honestly don't see it doing too well.
Okay.
Just being a Quidditch game, but it did make me remember back when our GameCube days of owning the old school Quidditch game and playing that game.
That
like
was a
crazy.
fun
That was a
game.
lot of fun.
That was a fun
It
game.
was. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this might reach the right audience, and you'll have kids who are like our age loving this shit playing Quidditch again.
Maybe.
Going
I
up-
hope so for their sake.
You bring up
Right?
such an interesting idea of having a Sims Harry Potter universe. That sounds amazing, man. I want to hear someone cast spells in Simlish.
Simlish.
Right? That would actually be pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, then what was the next game? I wish Billy was
This
here.
one I was
'cause
gonna say. This
he's
one was
really
for
the
Billy.
mainly one. That's the reason why I put this on this list, because I'm sure Billy wanted to talk about it. Maybe I'll summon Billy. We bring up Civ 7. I was actually surprised they announced it. I thought Civ 6.
It
was
feels
still
like
kind of-
6 wasn't even that long ago. I mean,
Right.
I thought this came out.
When did that come out? Did they come out last year?
I'm going to look it up. When did Civ 6 come out? Whoa, never mind. It came out 2016.
Oh, okay, all right.
Holy shit!
They are definitely.
You know what?
ready.
It's probably
Awkward.
because it just recently came to Xbox. I think that's what
Okay,
fair
I've
enough,
seen
right.
it more recently, right?
Billy was
I don't
like,
play those
"Gosh,
games,
those
so-
are
I've
crazy."
never played one. I find them interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Same.
always one of those games that ends up on my back burner. I start thinking, oh, it'd be nice to try this because I'm in a lull, and then something else comes out. I'm like, man, okay, see you later. That's
That's exactly how I
sadly
feel.
how it's always been in my shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. So it's
I've
cool
wanted
to
to
see
play
that they're
since
working
Civ
on it.
4.
Right.
I think I was recently looking for a Civ game to play, and then I couldn't find one that was free. I think I was looking on like Game Pass or something like that, and I ended up just waiting for Manor Lords because that ended up coming out free, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use this as my like RPG kind of game that I'm looking for.
But
For sure.
can you play with other people in Mana Lords?
I don't know. I don't think Manor Lords isn't like a combat game. It's really more of a city builder kind of thing.
Well,
Honestly, I don't think you
that's
can.
fine, but can you do
Yeah.
anything cooperatively in there? Like,
I don't remember, honestly. I only played it for a little bit when it first came out, and I was like, okay, this is fun. And then I think
I don't know enough about the game.
Yeah.
It's one of those other ones that's like I would love to try it, but it's going to end up on my back burner if I'm not careful.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I saw a couple of trailers for it, and I watched a
Manor
couple
Lords
videos
does
on
not
that.
have multiplayer mode, nor can it be played co-op.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just
However,
something
I
to kill
hear
the
it is
time. I was like, oh, this is fun. No, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. It's kind of got survival aspects to it, to where like you have to fight off poverty and hunger and stuff like that. You have to make sure you're balancing how you're bringing people in and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. I like those kind of games, and then you
Well,
also get the aspect
I'm
where
telling
you
you
can
guys,
go into first person.
I'm also going to start recruiting for Foxhole because we desperately will need soldiers there as well.
What
Yeah,
is
that one you're gonna have
Foxhole?
to let me know how it goes.
So
Fox?
Foxhole is a large kind of sandbox war simulation game, right? So you play as either two factions. I think the colonists and the wardens, something of that nature. Two different factions, right? And you get to sign up for which one you're going to join at the beginning of the war, and then the war takes about weeks, like maybe like 3-4 weeks, to conclude.
Like
But every
3-4 weeks in real life?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, mhm,
Oh
yep.
shit!
Jesus.
So basically, you can come in. This is massive multiplayer, so you can support a ton of people. People form their own regiments. I mean, they get pretty organized on there. But everything that you use in the war is hand built by players. So every base is built by players. Every artillery installation, every machine gun nest, every bunker, every frigate, every shipyard, every resource. It's all built by players. Each player has to build their own stuff, and then you got to maintain logistics lines. So sometimes you'll have people who would just get dedicated to resource gathering and logistics, and then you have the actual fronts of the wars going on, which you can have multiple fronts during a game, and it is pretty involved. It's a more of an isometric game, so it's not really like super skill based in the forms of the shooting and all that. It's more about the strategy that you're formulating in the war and how well you're keeping your supply lines supplied during a war, which is really how you win wars. So.
I was like, I think like last year, I saw like this crazy story on TikTok of this guy just explaining the situation he was in. He was locked on this little island, and he had
Ever
to,
since
like,
that island, yep. Ever since
Yeah.
that island fight, I was
hold it
fascinated
down.
by
That
this
was
game.
absolutely insane. Yeah.
Yep.
Is this like Eve Online?
It's a top down. You're playing a top down.
It's
And
not
when you
really
say-
like Eve. So what happens is like every
like-
time the war concludes, it just kind of restarts, right? So there's not really. I mean, you do have a phase just like with RTSs, right? You have to do your resource gathering phase. So you go out to the fields with a sledgehammer and you'll like hammer it ore to collect it. Then you can start building trucks, and then you can start building supply depots to store everything at.
But the
And then
economy is all player based.
Player driven, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting, because that's how like I'm pretty sure Eve Online is. Like you have people that are like, "Hey, I'm dedicating to mining this specific thing because I'm cornering the market on this on the
Yes,
auction house
but
or
Eve
whatever it
Online is a persistent world that goes on and on, right? So it's more like the MMOs that we're all used to. It's more
Okay.
long term.
Because I know Eve Online had the record for like the longest going battle or war or something like that for like a digital game.
Eve Online has a ton of precedence in gaming, and that's really from even from a sociological standpoint. It's really fascinating to see how player archetypes have kind of shaped and molded factions and everything within that game. And there's been some crazy stories that have come out of Eve Online. There's been some like whole really hardcore doxing incidents and everything that have come out of factions on Eve. Yeah, it gets really nasty sometimes. That environment. Yeah,
That's
People
fun.
are dedicated, man. They're dedicated.
Oh
Right?
yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Especially when it gets to these niche games, people like put their whole lives on these games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, there are whole organized regiments of people on Foxhole that regularly play together, and they have their own leadership and all that kind of stuff. They are very coordinated guilds for conducting these wars because you kind of have to be.
Right.
So it's kind of like, getting the more of the strategic side of like an Arma game.
That's cool. Well, that definitely sounds like something I'd be interested in. Like I like top-down shit, especially if it plays like Warcraft or Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever get interested?
No,
Let me know. Come find me.
It's out right now?
Oh yeah, it's been out.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought this was a Summer Games thing you were talking about.
Oh no.
No,
I'm
no.
not. This is just derailing, man.
We derailed from Civ 7.
No.
Yeah.
That's
No
all right.
worries.
Let's
I
get
thought
back
that
to
was
it.
the next one on the list. My bad.
No, the next one on the list would be Black Myth Wukong. Got its release date announced for August. Was it 20th? It's actually a lot more recent than a lot more recent. It will be coming out than I thought.
Which one is this one?
So this is the one that's that Chinese developer they've been working on it, and it was like super hyped ever since the first teaser they ever released for the game. So you'll be playing as Wukong, fucking Monkey King.
The
Don,
monkey.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. Okay, I remember this now.
And it was very impressive from the first gameplay release that they ever showed, and it's garnered a lot of hype.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
forgot
I
all
haven't
about it,
seen
but I
any
knew
of the
that the
gameplay.
title sounded familiar. It looks really good.
If that gameplay is true, which it looked like it was, so hopefully it turns out to be a really good game. Turns out to be a banger. That one I suppose it was super cool that they gave the actual release date for.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it on there.
Hell yeah.
But aside from that, the other one I know Matt brought up because I thought the same thing when I saw it was Tears of Metal. It's that cartoon Dynasty Warriors looking game.
Yeah.
He said it was like,
Yeah,
I feel like it's been a long time since they've released a Dynasty Warriors-esque game, so maybe they're going to reignite the fire
pretty
for
unique,
that.
and it's a co-op game, and it does have
Right.
a co-op on there as well, which I'm a fan for. We need all the options we can get, and yeah, it seems more like you are a dwarf. From the look of it, I thought
let me see.
something of that nature, and so like a little, but definitely like more of like a fantasy setting for a Dynasty Warriors game. I think that's a pretty cool combination.
I mean, we can showcase this one too.
I mean, I know it's not popular, but there are One Piece games that were played just like Dynasty Warriors.
That's true.
So it's a Dynasty Warriors-esque game. There are One Piece games like it.
Well, when was the last time that was released?
A couple of years ago.
All right, so this is the one that Tears of Metal.
Like the animation.
Right? They get me so good in the beginning.
Oh.
That's dope.
Oh, nice.
Right? It's a little more
System?
depthy. You get to choose
Yeah.
what you're bringing in. Yeah, I'm loving the style
Yeah, that
that it
looks
shows for
cool.
this. Oh, they got boss archetypes? Okay.
Looks good.
If that is like part of also the soundtrack in the game, like it's gonna be solid, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that went hard, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything that they talked about like a wish list now? Is there anything that's playable right now?
What did they? There was a couple things they announced that would be technically it's on.
I think there was one that was coming out like the next day.
Okay.
Right. Then there was Dark and Darker that was announced. I know I have it later on our list, but we can bring it up right now. How that was brought to Steam and
I didn't know that wasn't already on Steam. What is that its own launcher then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it was
had
his
to-
own
you had to-
launcher. Yeah.
I was just telling Matt earlier. I was like, that was one of the things that kind of deterred me from ever trying it out. Is I didn't want to have to go and download this other thing to download the game.
Yeah.
Now that it's on Steam and it's free too. I didn't know that.
Actually, it turns out it was in fact not free, but the way they worded it made it seem like it was. Typical shitty business practices. Well, they are apparently working on fixing this. I guess we shall wait and see if it pays off for them.
It's free?
It's a
Why
free
are we
game.
playing that shit?
See, we gotta hurry up and finish up this Baldur's Gate, man. We gotta get done with this playthrough.
I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I'm excited to finally
We're
get
so
back
close.
to it.
We're so
Yeah, we
close.
are.
I've been seeing a lot more clips of Baldur's Gate, and I'm like, fuck, this game is so good. I want
Plus,
to
the,
play it
the
again.
faster we finish it up, the faster we can get to whatever it is we're going to do next, man.
Right.
That's true.
I wouldn't mind
Absolutely.
taking a little breather just to do some Dark and Darker, though.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Plus, Dark and Darker doesn't really. We don't need to dedicate months to, or it doesn't
Yeah, right.
seem at
No,
least
it's
that
yeah,
way.
just hop in and
Well,
hop
as
out.
opposed to like if we were going to start up Divinity 2 or do Rogue Trader or something like that.
Right. Right.
A
Absolutely.
lot more dedication.
But yeah. So I'm excited for Dark and Darker. I went to Steam and I looked at it and I was like, damn, this is free to download. I was like, okay, and then I downloaded it, so
You
do have
to
it.
do that.
Have either of you, any of you, played any of Dark and Darker?
Never played it. I've only ever seen clips.
Yeah.
So
I've seen
I played
clips.
very briefly on it. I think it was
Okay.
in an early build and everything. It was just it's definitely a game where you catch on that having a team is just way better. For sure. Like it's much slower pace, especially as I was experiencing early on there.
Right.
And so the combat is also very, very slow and all that. But it seems like when you get a little bit up there and everything, especially like wizards and everything, get pretty cool. So I
Right.
look forward to seeing what this would look like. It'd be pretty interesting if we have a good four-man.
Hell yeah.
That'd be dope.
Next on the list was Sparking Zero, their trailer. And I know we're super
Got
geeked
that
about
date.
That looks
The
amazing.
only thing that
Finally got
matters.
the date,
The only thing that
October
matters.
11th.
Can't wait
I
to
am
play
I'm
that.
very
stoked,
excited.
but like I said, there's still possibility.
It's gonna happen, man. Look at how crisp those trailers have been.
It
That's what
does
we were
look
talking
very
about.
polished. It does look very
It's
polished.
practically ready to go now.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week while you were in Japan, and we were saying, the trailer just looks done. I don't see how it comes out in 2025.
Right.
I'm all for it. I'm all for
Knock on
Right,
wood.
Stranger
Knock
things have
on
happened.
wood.
Stranger things have happened. Let's not jinx it
I'm
anymore,
all in.
guys. It's gonna be
For
glorious.
sure,
That
for
is
sure.
literally the only game that I know I'm absolutely looking forward to. Like, it's been what I've been asking for so long. I wasn't a big fan of Fighter Z. Pretty sure I've said that before on this podcast. It's not bad, not a bad game. It's not my cup of tea. It's very like Marvel versus Capcom, and I was never into those kind of fighting games.
Right.
So I'm
No, it's
very
beautiful to
excited
be
for
back
this.
in the Tenkaichi world, and
The trailer was amazing.
especially with the online today, versus
Mhm.
we couldn't really do an online fun game in Tenkaichi 3 back in the day. Now
That's
sky's the
true.
limit. We can be playing like fighting each other. It's gonna be so great.
Yep.
We're gonna have to reblock Teen Gohan. I'm sure he's gonna be goaded.
I don't know if he'll be goaded, but
It's the
I'm
one-armed-
excited to
nice
play
to
as the
have-
one-armed Gohan, man.
He's
That's
gonna be
gonna
the
be so
goated one.
dope.
Assuming that they don't like have problems with it'll be nice to have a live updated game to where like, oh yeah, I'm sorry guys, we released Team Gohan 2 and he was way too OP. Let's tweak him a little bit, kind of thing.
That's something I
'Cause
was
that
curious
was-
on. They're gonna have to there's gonna be some balancing issues. There has
Yes.
to be. There's
Yes.
way too many characters for them to keep track of. And I'm curious if like
It's
they'll do like tournament
Crazy that there
brackets.
wasn't that big of a gap in the characters on Tenkaichi 3 though. Like
Right.
just a
Oh.
flat out release. You got what you got. The only people that I think were super OP were Team Gohan 2 and Super Gogeta 4.
Right.
4.
Super Gogeta 4 is fucking
Yeah.
OP. It's
But what you would call it, balancing issues.
Yes.
Like, I'm curious if there are tournament brackets. Will they have to like? Here's a list of blocked characters while we do this tournament. Because
Oh, I mean, they
I'm
do it with
sure.
all fighting games.
Yeah, I'm
Plus,
sure.
tournaments, I'm sure you'd have the ability to do that.
that would suck.
That
Though.
would
Can you
be a
imagine, like,
cool
getting
thing, though,
really
like,
good at
getting
one
in-
character, and they're like, yeah,
Your main is canceled.
Mhm.
Get out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
here.
yeah. Right.
He has
That
an
would be cool though
exploit.
if they do like a world tournament thing and it's like
Oh, that'd be
everyone can
so
participate in
sick.
it and it ends up being like bracket, and at the end you get like whatever their in-game currency is, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. In game,
That would be
so
cool.
sick.
Everyone
Yeah.
just does it online.
Mm-hmm.
All in the
be
tournament arenas
dope.
of the actual game too. Playing by the rules, you can get
That'll
ringed
be
out.
cool. And I'm sure they'll
If you get
they-
rained out and you're like in the semifinals, I'd be so pissed.
Ooh,
would
it'd be so
suck.
good though. It's like
that would suck.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll have, I mean, I can't say I'm sure, but in this day and age, I would assume they're going to go into some form of ranked play. So that would be a cool format to do it in.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of potential with this game, and I'm very stoked.
even if they don't do ranked play, like I'm just excited to fucking get
I'm just
a
excited
Dragon
to play
Ball.
this
Yeah, like
game.
thank you for finally answering my wishes after what feels like 15 years.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
Well, yeah. I wonder if now that they announced it, the date and all that. Here, I'm gonna open up Steam. I'm gonna see if you can actually pre-order it right now because they also have the pre-orders as well, right?
I think it just says wish list now,
Oh yeah,
doesn't it?
yep. You can pre-order it right now.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That's gonna be a done
Oh,
deal.
but you probably can't get the fucking collector's edition.
Are you gonna go for that,
I mean, why the fuck not?
Derek? Did Derek even get to see what the collector's edition had?
No.
Oh wow, you didn't catch that?
Here, let me see if I could quickly bring up the trailer, and I'll go to the very end and share it.
Oh, it's a $70 game out the gate.
Oh,
right
yeah.
here. Right there, Derek.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
Right, dude.
Wow.
Badass.
And then there's also a pre-order bonus. Wait, not that one. Whoops, wrong way.
Of course,
Right
they
there.
got the 3 days early and
Yep.
shit.
Oh, this is what I saw you guys talking about. Okay,
Yeah, 6 character early.
6
unlock,
characters,
but
my
it's
ass.
just
Yeah,
2.
it's just 2 characters.
Nice try.
Right? Yeah, I'm very stoked for the potential this game has.
Hell yeah, man.
And what all these cards are too. What the heck? Or is this oh, that's part of their card game. Never mind.
Oh, it's DBZ Mutt, Todd. Oh no. I'm just kidding.
That's disgusting.
That's what I think of whenever I see cards, man. I don't like it. It's scary. Don't show me cards in a game. Go straight to EA.
Oh,
Terrible.
jeez. Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Next
Yeah,
on
we
our
got
list,
Warhammer Space Marine 2.
we have our specialist here
All right.
with
That's why
Warhammers.
we showed up for the game. That was it, man. That was it.
This is what Matt's
September.
waiting for.
Well, I mean,
Right.
it was just finally nice to have them, solidify a release date. That was really it. So
What was the
having
release
that-
date for that one?
I think it's like September 9th or something like that. So I mean, it's pretty solid. It's been, it already, I think, got delayed once pretty drastically, and so
Yeah,
to see it
September
really
9th.
be solidified there is amazing. It looks great. Everyone really loves the look of it, even though they're sitting there showing off the Smurfs all the time. But yeah, it's pretty solid.
It does look really good.
Yep.
So
Love that you
what
go
kind
Tyranids.
of game is this?
So it's gonna be drastically different, right? Space Marine 1 was just like a single player kind of story playthrough, right? You were just going through
Okay.
as your Space Marine. Here, though, they're kind of evolving it, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna hem and haw every time that they release something as 3-player co-op. I don't know, it just wouldn't have cost you that much to put in the 4th man at least.
Yeah, well,
So right, it's the same problem that Aliens, Fireteam Elite had.
I was
It's
gonna
just a 3-player
say
thing.
Aliens,
Like,
yeah.
just keep the 4th person. I mean, let's do this. But hopefully the gameplay and the depth will be there to really more than make up for this thing. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to run a lot of the weapons throughout the universe of the arsenal that would be available to a Space Marine. So looks like we've seen the chain swords there. We've seen some of the heavy bolters and everything, and we've seen some really good looking stuff. So hopefully we get all that good big flamethrowers and all that kind of stuff, and you can have turn the gore up to 10 and let's slice up some Tyranids. I mean, that's
yeah.
pretty much the theme of it. It's all this swarm stuff going on, so it seems pretty cool. I worry because sometimes 40K games don't knock it out of the park unless it's a turn base. So that's always the big concern. But from what we've seen so far, it looks impressive enough to stand on its own. Space Marine, has gotten good reviews. It stands out on its own. They've got a weird choice here with like a 6v6 mode, from what I've heard. And I don't know how that'll pan out. I mean, the people who really want to do PvP in that kind of universe and everything, I'm sure they'll be kind of satisfied. But I worry about how kind of strong and what that's going to be. And we're kind of seeing the decay of these 5-5, 6-6 formats games kind of right now. So it's an interesting choice.
So I'm sorry, this is or isn't a turn-based game?
This is not a turn-based game. No, this is very action-oriented.
Right.
It's going to be very pull trigger, slice up bodies kind of game.
The right way to make a game.
It'll be in third person there, and
Okay.
it'll be a ton of gory fun. Like you and two buddies just slicing up these bugs will be a great
Is
time.
it like horde mode, like Gears of War horde mode coming at you kind of thing?
It's not like a horde mode. This is like more this is more story driven, but there are kind of hordy sections of the game that are going on.
Okay.
I would say there's probably not a horde mode like where you could like start building in placements with kind of what Gears 4 or 5. But there are going to be kind of some sections where you are kind of doing that kind of last stand kind of idea, right? And you're kind of
Okay.
getting through the waves of guys.
So I don't know if this is
Interesting.
a question you'd be able to answer based on I don't know how much you know about what this game is offering. As someone that has never played these games, is that something I could jump into comfortably, or will I be like, "What the fuck is going on?" The whole
Yeah, I
time?
mean, I think with everything, especially with a lot of these games, they make it pretty accessible. You know, they really kind of start off at a puddle before they try to get deep into anything, and they never really pull you in too deep to the lore. Like, even if they do, like, it'll still be a good story, even if you don't know everything behind it. They're going to do pretty decent job, at least getting that point across. They've,
Yeah.
even for things, you don't have to get too deep into things like Dark Tide wasn't a very deep story game, but you kind of got the gist of what was going on there. But if you do know the lore, you know kind of a deeper layer into things like that, and that'll probably be persistent in this game too. If you know the lore, there's probably things that'll be a lot more meaningful to you, but you'll be able to get along just fine.
Yeah, because talk about like a lore, like a story, a game where I want to know more. I'm really interested. It's vast. It's been around for so long, but it's so intimidating. Like
Yeah,
there's a lot to
it
it.
is a mountain of lore at this point. I mean, you've got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff kind of under the weight of this here about the Imperium and all. It's definitely daunting. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but really, nothing that a couple of I mean, there are some really phenomenal, like maybe half hour to an hour long YouTube videos that dive really into the lore like pretty succinctly and cover a lot of ground really quickly.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's something I'll have to watch.
You ever find yourself bored on a Tuesday night,
For sure, for sure. Maybe I'll just have to do that.
The other thing we wanted to talk about is that Bloomhouse Entertainment making a game studio. That was out of left field. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
People that
Fuck
make
is
movies.
Blumhouse?
Yeah, so it looks like a series of what, like maybe 4 or 5 games that are
Yeah,
kind of just different.
Bloomhouse Entertainment. They usually make horror movies.
I was
Yep.
saying Blumhouse's movies.
Name it. Name a movie.
Not anymore.
Nothing I can think off the top of my head, but they,
Mm.
Yeah, I
you
got
know
you,
them.
I got you.
You know
Are you
their
looking it up,
fucking
Adam?
logo. Yeah. They did Megan, The Black
They got
Phone,
a bunch.
Imaginary.
Black Phone was dope. Megan was dope.
They
Have you
do
guys
have
seen Megan? Has anyone seen Megan?
With Megan
No,
Fox?
no. It's
No.
looks like it's kind of like a Chucky style movie or something like that.
Yeah, it's an AI doll that it goes apeshit and starts killing people. Funny as hell.
They did Get Out?
That shit was great.
Yep.
They did Get
Oh,
Out. They
shit.
did
There you
Insidious. They
go.
did Sinister,
Yep.
Split,
Oh,
Hush.
killing it.
Yeah,
Damn.
they're
Oh, yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
They got some bangers. Okay.
Yeah, so they opened up a gaming studio. And that was like, I was like, okay, and then we were expecting to see them just drop one game, but they had like
Are they all
5
horror?
or 6 lined up. Yeah,
Yeah, they're all
different, like
horror.
different, like
Cool,
niche
cool.
type of
Now,
horror.
now they all seem a little
Is
bit
it
kind
gonna
of
be like
shorter length games.
Until
Right.
Dawn kind of games? Because that's like a short game where it's like a horror story.
Maybe they might invest in something like that, but for the most, I mean, I could just pull up their little showcase if you guys want.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like they had, even for all being horror, pretty interesting variety in there.
Right?
Black Phone was also really good.
I haven't seen it. That one looked interesting though.
It's really good.
But the one with Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was phenomenal.
Dark times await us. Vengeance will take shape.
Oh, this is
Oh.
not at
Yeah.
all what I was expecting.
Well,
I'm
hold
out.
on. Hold on.
I'm not on this one.
I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep. I must not sleep. I am terrified to sleep, and I am scared to death to stay awake.
Don't worry, Viv. If any ghosts actually show up, I'll protect you.
Amy, I'll save you, no matter what.
Wow,
Just
this
go
is interesting.
home, Viv.
Right?
Amy!
The local police department asked me to
They're all
help
over
with
the
the
place.
case. Why would they need a game designer? It should have some developer mode.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
All right.
Dark times await us.
That's cool.
Looks
Good
good
for
to
them.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, when they announced that, I was like, this is sick. Like, I was not expecting that. That was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, that's really
And
good.
especially with all these layoffs, to see a studio that doesn't deal with games start to take on this, jump into the gaming world and kind of give all these opportunities, all these other game developers. It was very sick. This is a huge W, I think, for gaming in general.
This was
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. Are they considered indie then? Because they're gonna be, I'm assuming, a smaller.
They said they would be focusing on indie developers too when they
Okay.
came out in their
Which
talks.
is genius as to make
Yeah.
themselves kind of the
Yeah.
indie pathway to things. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really. It seems like really what people are craving for these days is you're seeing like the the AAAs really lose their crowns.
I
on
didn't put
indies.
these as
Yeah.
talking points, but Matt and I, there was at least 2 or 3 different games. They were like, oh, only 2 people worked on this, or 1 person worked on this. There's a
Oh,
game
yeah.
that's absolutely. There's actually 2 games that were like
Yeah.
absolutely crackhead energy, and that one of them was like 2 developers, and the other one that was like the bean one was just
That
one
bean one was
guy.
crazy. Yeah.
It's just the most insane trailer. It's
That's
just nuts.
hilarious. I
But
just
yeah.
saw a video of, I think it was like the top rated games or top played games currently on Steam. 8 of the 10 games are all indie creators. Like only 2 of them are AAA. And the guy was
I
just
love
like,
it.
yeah, and this is like the time for indie games. Like a lot of people are just
Absolutely.
taking off. And I was like, yeah, it's because they're the only ones that give a fuck about gaming
The
right now.
gamers,
Like they're
right.
giving the people what they want. They're not wasting their time. They're not fucking shitting
Well,
on their consumers. They're just giving them the product they want.
Right.
Or not even the product they want, the product that they're passionate about. They're not just trying to
Exactly.
gurgle
Pretty,
money.
pretty much. Exactly. Because like even with the announcement of Black Ops 6, like we know what we're getting.
Yeah.
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 And they're lucky that shit's going to fucking Game Pass because I'll actually try it because of that. But
True.
if it weren't on there, I would not even look
If
that
it was
direction.
a $70 game, I ain't touching it.
Nope.
Right.
I haven't
No
bought Call of
shot.
Duty in I don't know how long because of that. So
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
the Gundam Wing laser sword is killing it in Warzone right now.
I didn't even know they
They
had
have the
that.
Gundam.
I was like, what?
That's crazy.
But yeah, this Bloomhouse announcement, I think, was one of the biggest highlights of the game event tonight.
Oh, I don't doubt
But
I
it.
think a lot of people aren't acknowledging it as such either, because I don't know, a lot of people are just like, but I thought this was huge. I would love to see
Oh, that's
more studios. Like, I put that meme in the chat, but I was like, maybe A24 is really looking like, oh shit, maybe this is something we should get our hands into.
That would be
like,
sick if they
I could
started
totally
making like
see them doing
mind
something
fucking
like that.
games, and it's
Yeah,
just not even doesn't have to be horror. It could just be a
We have
thriller
had
type
such
aspect
a
where it has a
lull,
big
it
twist.
feels, in horror games. Like to
Yeah.
see horror come back in like a big way, I think is a really good move. It's a really good sign.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna
Absolutely.
explore a lot more things that will be different. Like you said, I think video games are a great medium to sit there and really fuck with a player. I mean, some of those were great.
Well, yeah, because you talk about like horror movies, and everyone's always saying that horror movies aren't really hitting anymore. This isn't scary. I'm not scared of anything. But when you play a video game, I don't know. I feel like
The immersion.
Way more immersive.
in it,
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's easier to get you with that stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Especially now that everyone sits like at a monitor with a headset, like getting the full
100%,
experience kind
yeah.
of thing. Like
You got that
just
curved
that little
monitor just going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those little things that it puts you there, like for real.
And I
Yeah.
know Senua's Blade, is that how you pronounce it? the whole aspect they have with the headset. I'm not talking about the gameplay and all the walking.
I know. Sorry.
I'm talking
sorry,
about
go
just
ahead.
the shit that they do, like she hears the voices in her
Yeah,
head. And it's in the
that
headset.
is cool.
You can do crazy things with that with horror
Oh, yeah.
games too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. That is the
That's just
yeah.
it. You have way more sensory, input just going into you. So yeah, you can do so much more stuff.
Just the right vibrations in the controllers too, just to like get you uneasy, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
what's happening right now? Crazy.
Absolutely.
I forget the game. There was some game where you even had to like do a bunch of stuff because they like remapped your controls in the middle of the game too, and like they took some
Amnesia,
time.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
I have
took
never
time to
played them,
really,
but
like,
I've
mess with you. Like it was.
the crazier you are, I know they'd add like flies going on your screen and stuff like that, and it looked like there's an actual fly on your screen. But that's just your
dirty.
insanity meter just going, yeah. Aside from that, this is the other one I know Todd's excited for. I really wish they would have showed more than what they did, but it's the new Skate game. They did go over it.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, mainly they went over it. They showed just barely a little bit of it, but it was mainly a comedy skit with Tim Robinson.
Oh yeah.
He did a comedy skit because the developers behind the new Skate game is like M something.
Hey man, I'm down for anything.
And basically,
skate-related.
the Skate thing was saying, "Yeah, we're still working on the game. Don't worry, it's still coming." That was it.
Okay,
but they hired Tim Robinson to do a little skit. He was in an office trying. It was stupid, but it was a Tim Robinson skit. So it was fucking stupid.
I mean,
funny.
like I said, I'm all for Skate. I don't know why, but that game had me in a fucking chokehold.
Right.
I just want them to remaster Tony Hawk Underground 1. That's all I want.
Same. Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I'm 100% on board with Derek. I love that game so much. I would love Underground.
I'm
Great
okay with that
soundtrack.
because yes, those were actually good games. But I'm tired of people putting resources into remastering games. Like
That's fair.
But if you're gonna remaster games, make it the good ones. Just
not games that just came out like
yes.
and Sony's doing.
Yeah, that's where I have the problem.
Oh, you know what else we saw was a much more action-based trailer for Star Wars Outlaws.
I tuned that out, but yeah, that's I mean
so anti-Star Wars.
I will say
that
they showed for that did make it look much more appealing as a game overall.
Okay.
Again,
did we see gameplay? Is it going to be like Jedi Survivor kind of gameplay, like third person over the shoulder kind of thing?
Yes,
it is third person. They did show gameplay last year,
but
really?
you're much more blaster based and everything.
Yeah, I know you're not using a lightsaber.
Yeah. Right. But again, we fall back to like their really criminal kind of pricing structure that they're doing for this game, and I think that's again it's kind of unforgivable. Like we know they're shenanigans, so yeah.
Right.
Is this another EA game?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah. No, it's Ubisoft. Sorry.
Oh,
but yeah.
Oh, okay. Usually EA does the Star Wars games.
Yeah, might as well be. That's why they're doing the same thing with that Assassin's Creed game. It's literally the same practice, the same pricing for each thing as this new Assassin's Creed and the new Star Wars. Aside from that, the bigger news, I don't care about this game at all. It's nothing I plan on ever playing, but I took forever for them to bring it to console, and it's actually finally coming to console, is Valorant.
It's not a console game, so I'm surprised that they're even putting it on console.
How is it not a console game, though? Isn't it just a first-person shooter?
Yeah, but it's Counter-Strike. Like, it's a Counter-Strike skin, so, like, Counter-Strike is meant to be played on the computer. It's supposed to be, like, click and aim kind of thing. It's not something that's meant to play with a controller, so I think that's very, very surprising that they're doing that. Yeah. But nowadays, you can plug in a controller or a mouse and keyboard into a mouse to it, so maybe that's how they're doing it, but I just think that throws a huge wrench in like ranked gameplay.
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, I don't care to play this game. It's just it's big news.
That is big news because I don't think anybody was expecting that. Did they ever announce like, hey, we're working on this? Like,
not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
It was kind of out of like a big reveal, like, hey, we're coming to console.
Yeah.
The other thing was Monster Hunter Wilds. I know you guys aren't.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wasn't expecting a cool ass trailer after they just.
It did
dropped
look
a
cool. I
cool-ass
will say that
trailer.
whole scene with those sandworms and
The
everything.
whole
that
new
looked
game.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and it looks
shit.
so good.
Maybe I'll finally play the
Oh,
game.
the big
series.
thing I meant to share is this is going to be crossplay. This new is crossplay with everyone.
Looks like we're all going to be playing this game.
There you go,
Dude, I'm stoked.
Derek's
I
going to
love
play.
the monster.
Don't even let him sourpuss you out.
Derek.
He's
Come
gonna play.
on, Derek.
How many of these games you guys gonna force me to play that we play for
Derek,
like a month?
You
and then
don't
nobody
play
plays it
games
again?
with us otherwise.
Hey, that's your fault that you don't keep playing them.
Derek, I still
You
play
all
Helldivers. If
stop.
you don't join
Like
me.
what? Like what?
I was the last one to play Diablo.
D4. He's gonna bring up, yeah.
I was the
Hey,
last
man,
one
look,
playing Diablo.
None of us should have been playing Diablo. That's the beginning. All right, we got
Diablo was
taken.
fun.
We got taken.
Fuck out of here. Diablo was
taken.
fun. I had a blast
was
playing
fun,
Diablo, and then everyone
nah.
fucking stopped.
It was so stale, dude.
It
was
was
not
really good when
fun.
it came out. I thought.
Yeah.
I
It's just
thought it
like
was
stale.
working second jobs as video games, man. Just say you like
What
working second
you
jobs.
talking about?
I'm talking about your World of Warcraft obsession, man. This is actually an
Yeah.
intervention. We came here to talk to you.
This whole podcast, all these
I
weeks, has
don't
just been on.
understand the
And that's
dislike
the other
for it.
thing. You left us on World of Warcraft. You
Yeah.
opted to play your other shit.
No, that's World of Warcraft. You're playing SOD. I didn't like SOD.
Weak.
I'm still playing World of Warcraft. Everyone ditched me in that server.
Aside from that, Monster Hunter World is a phenomenal game. It's just the way you upgrade your weapons, your armor, and just be able to do crossplay with everyone. I think would be an
So
amazing.
you already know that Adam won't leave you.
I've sunk probably over 200 hours into Monster Hunter World. Maybe
Cool.
over
it.
300. I think it's over 300.
So
That's
like
it.
work.
Fuck off. No, I think
I
it's
have
over 300.
35,000 hours in Tarkov.
I wasn't even gonna bring up Tarkov.
I mean, I think just my hours in Baldur's Gate 3 is.
That's what
getting
I'm
up
saying.
there.
I'm
I
like
mean,
at 500 in Baldur's
right.
Gate.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
same.
gotta be insane.
Hey,
What am
but
I
that's
paying?
Baldur's Gate, man. I'm not trying to compare it to Baldur's Gate. Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm
Monster
almost
Hunter
at
World,
500 hours in Madden 24.
Oh,
That's
I'm at 400 hours in
crazy.
Baldur's Gate. Sorry.
340. How are you guys beating me in Baldur's Gate?
Oh, man. I played a lot of that Act 1, let me tell you.
I'm at 400.
Same.
I'm at 450 on Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Adam played with.
I think
He had a game going with everyone at one point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I think
Like, I
was
played it
at
in
20
pre-release.
hours in Baldur's Gate.
We'll get there, Derek. When you get that the PC, we'll be playing with you. It's gonna be great. You like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Super excited about that.
But man, I would love to convince any of you guys to jump into the Monster Hunter world or Monster Hunter universe because it is
It
phenomenal.
sounds like this coming one has a really good chance of getting us all
Yeah,
in.
it's
All right.
got potential.
I'm excited.
That's it.
We'll
All right,
see.
and then the last talking point, which was the last one in the show, was that Phantom Blade game. It just looked good. I don't know. I think they were trying to get more of a big audience like surprise off of that, but I thought it's a Sony exclusive game. But it looks cool, but it's just
Oh, so it's gonna be the greatest game ever. I'm just kidding. It's fine. I had never heard of it.
They showed it last year and everyone went crazy because the character like jumped in the middle of like three people, and the way they claimed it to be gameplay, and the way he attacked just looks so cutscene like, and people were like, whoa, there's no way that's gameplay, and people were like going back and forth if it was actually gameplay or not. So then they showed gameplay, and then the gameplay that they showed here didn't really show off the gameplay they showed last time. So I was like, it still looked good, it just didn't look that impressive to what they showed before.
Okay, yeah, I do remember.
It looks like it's going to be like a hack and slash mix, Souls like type game.
That's cool.
More like a kind of like a Ninja Gaiden maybe. So
I might fuck around and play that one. Who knows?
We'll see. It could be good, could be horrible. Who knows?
I think they had a couple of VR titles, but like again, none of them are really all that memorable.
The VR is like we talked about before. It's just not there yet.
I mean, it must not be. Like, I don't really get what the hang of
Oh
their
my
VR is.
god! I didn't want to even bring it up because it was gonna piss me off. That Arkham shit is bullshit, man. Especially with fucking what they did with Suicide Squad and Kill the Justice League. Like you're telling me
Oh,
they
the
made
Batman
this game,
VR. Oh my
and
god,
they
that's
go
right.
instead they went
That's
for an
gonna be
Arkham VR
It's gonna be
game.
so terrible. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Don't you
the
dare
worst
make an
game
Arkham
ever.
game that's not made by Rocksteady and isn't fucking. Oh man,
Yeah,
fumbled. Warner Brothers
Fumbled.
fumbling. I don't understand
Fumbled.
why. They
But
were like,
they were
this is going to
smart
be great.
because they didn't show any gameplay. It was all
Right.
video. It was, you could tell they weren't about to ruin this with showing any gameplay.
It's going to be the equivalent of Batman and Robin
Oh
in
yeah,
the video
yeah.
game world.
Yeah, I think there were nipples on the suit.
Nipples on the suit. That's so great. Gotta love those.
Technically, they didn't bring this up, which was kind of surprising. They didn't bring up anything about the Elden Ring DLC that comes out in like a couple weeks.
We got everything we need.
I did want to. There is like a little bit of like a leaked showing of the weapons and the weapon art. I don't know if you want to show that or not.
I mean,
I kind of put that on there just for you because I know out of everyone here, you'd probably be the one that might be opposed to it. So if you don't, we don't have to.
Yeah, no, I'll go into it a little more.
I did
blindly.
watch. There was like it's just like small clips, but I did see it, and what I saw was very impressive. The way they did their the fight, like the animations for the weapons and the new weapon arts was very impressive. Especially the hand-to-hand combat one. I was so stoked to see that go through.
Yeah, that was cool.
And apparently they are implementing a new leveling system to kind of like make sure no one can just over level into this thing and just sweep everything over. So I'm kind of curious how that is. They didn't explain it.
Yeah, that's concerning because I'm pretty high up there.
Right. So I think it's just so you don't, so nothing is so overpowered to you and you aren't so overpowered to everything. So you levels the playing field.
Yeah, because I'm on new game, plus, I think, or whatever it would be.
Right.
On my third or fourth playthrough, and I don't know if that's gonna make it harder or not.
Right on. But aside from that, the stuff that they did show was very impressive. I am so stoked for that. It's going to be amazing. And that's pretty much all I had to add on to the whole Elden Ring talk. But I was surprised they didn't even show a little bit of it. I think they're just ready to go on with the release, which is fair.
Yeah, I think they're just ready. Yeah, it's so close now.
Right.
Is it in next month?
No, it's this month.
This month.
I think it's like the 22
shit.
weeks
I
from
thought
now,
it
I
came-
think.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks from now.
Todd, you got 2
Yeah.
weeks to play and beat the game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not gonna happen.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to have a Kai Cenat experience.
That's the plan.
Hell yeah. Stream it.
I'll beat the game in one sitting. I won't even go to sleep.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna sit down and grind it out. That's how easy it's gonna be. One shot all the bosses.
The other thing coming out this month is that House of the Dragon. You know what? I've decided I will watch it.
You're gonna watch it?
Yeah, I figured since we
Good
have this
for
channel and podcast, I think it'd
you.
be a good thing to at least have more than just one person see it.
Hey,
I
guess
will
what?
draw the
Todd
line.
and Matt, you guys can watch it, and it doesn't matter because it's a prequel to Game of Thrones. Boom! You're not missing a beat.
I will draw a line when it comes to watching movies and television. That's Star Wars. I'm done with Star Wars. I'm not going to watch any of this new Acolyte. I'm not going to watch any of that. I'm just going to stick with House of Dragon. I drew my line there, but I'll open it up since we have this podcast.
Matt,
so I can
you've
talk
never
about it.
seen Game of Thrones either?
So I watched like maybe 3-4 episodes, something like that, and it was just boring. We were just falling asleep, man. It was done.
Said- yeah.
We tried. It was good.
Yeah.
It was
Trust
phenomenal.
me, I tried to.
It
But like
was
I
phenomenal.
tell everyone, like look, I read the whole first book and it was amazing. I thought it was great. Loved the book. Just didn't care for the show as much. Yeah.
It
Cool.
was amazing
Good.
until season 8. Man, that shit tanked so hard. It still should be studied how bad they fucked up that show.
True.
I think that's a fitting
True.
end.
It is not. Yeah, I don't understand how they fumbled the fucking ending so badly.
They got high off of that
That's what
subverting
happens when you take over
expectations.
the source material when you run out of runway.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it
not
really-
only that, was that those guys got offered a deal to do the next
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars thing from Disney. So they were like, oh, Disney money. So they rushed
Got
the
to wrap
ending.
this up.
Yeah.
And-
They're like, we got to get this over and done with so we can go do that Disney shit.
I could be crazy, but I think when they pulled the shit they pulled for season 8, I'll have to like relook at some shows that were going on at the time. But because they cut it down, because it was 10 episodes for each season, season 8 comes out and it was only 8 episodes. And ever since that, we always get these shows with the max limit being 8 episodes, and it's pissing me off. I hate the 8 episode fucking limit, and everyone's doing it. It's such a popular fucking thing to go by. I don't understand why it's like that. Because either you get shows that don't have enough to show in 8 episodes and they biff. Like, what was in Avatar, the newest Avatar show on Netflix? Fucking 8 episodes. They had to start cramming all these episodes from the fucking cartoon.
Wasn't Fallout only 8 episodes?
I think so, yeah. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is up with these? I hate the 8 episode recipe that they're following. It's stupid.
That's
I
what
don't know why
it's doing, man. It's costing more money to make this shit, and they're putting out less content.
I mean, not for much longer, man. AI is going to be there to bail them out pretty soon.
That's true. That'll save a lot of time and make it even worse than it already is.
Oh yeah, it'll
That's
be
gonna
terrible.
Terrible.
But yeah,
No
that
way.
shit's been pissing me off.
But they'll save a lot of time and money on that shit, cutting corners.
That's it.
I will always sound like an old shill about fucking Harry Potter, man. The Grand Hall in the first fucking movie, they actually strung up all those candles and made it a fucking thing. Like people were, or Saw for that matter, they actually had to do all the syringes kind of thing. Like there are people on the team dedicated to fucking 8 hours a day, just filling up all those syringes kind of thing. Or like not filling them up, but like taking out all the things, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So annoying. So annoying. They just don't
Yeah.
care anymore.
They don't.
No, they don't.
We need more indie developers for movies that actually care.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people these days are really kind of screaming for a lot more practical effects. You know, in their movies. I think we're kind of, I think we're over honestly the days of a lot of heavy, computer generated graphics for movies. It's just that part of cinema, I think, is kind of moving more. Why not just do a video game if we're going to do all that, right? I mean,
yeah,
right.
I think we're going to start seeing some interesting shifts. I mean, we've already seen shifts over this year, away from the summer blockbuster, the high CGI effect movie. The Fall Guy performed terribly, and then some of these other ones are not doing so hot.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of. I don't understand why they're putting out so much garbage.
Well, I mean, what's the alternative, right? The alternative is they have to steal more IP and make another, Fast and Furious 13, and like, okay, we're getting kind of burnt out on that too, though.
Speak for yourself.
Well, okay, I mean, I know we'll always be there for family, all right. I get it.
Oh God.
But the whole thing is that that's what they're left with, and
Yeah.
so it's either they generate new IP or they come after my Back to the Future, and I say generate new IP.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Derek about.
Hands off.
My top 10 list, because I ended up putting out my top 10 list, and I'm like, it just sucks because some of these things are great, but they're being sullied by new shit being released. So
exactly.
Did you end up commenting that top 10?
Yeah, I can. Since we're on the topic of movies, I can go through it if you want.
Yeah, run it.
So I didn't do any honorable mentions. I'm
Thank
sure I
God.
could have thought of some, but I just decided not to.
Yeah, thank God.
I
That's
just did
me
a
and Billy, I
top
guess.
10, and I also realized that I'm just an old man because I like old shit.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
all right.
Yeah.
And I also just don't have like any kids movies on here because I don't have any children. Like I didn't have Toy Story, Shrek, any of that. Not that they're bad or anything. They're great.
You didn't
movies, but
enjoy
just-
your childhood. I get it, man.
Right.
No, I just again I was
I'm
watching
becoming
different
interested in
shit
what
when
you
I
mean
was
by
a kid.
old
Joking.
movies. So let's see what you got.
Right.
here.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, none of them are old. I should say that, but
All right.
actually
So
one
I'm
of
just
them
gonna
is.
feel old.
Anyways, number 10. I preface this with Derek because I hate all of the fucking bullshit spin-offs afterwards, but the first original 3 were like a staple in my childhood for comedy, but American Pie.
Oh.
American Pie 1, 2, and Wedding were phenomenal to me. Everything after that, band camp, all that bullshit, I don't give a fuck about. but the
That's true,
first
that was a
3,
disaster.
those were like staples in my growing up and like getting into like Euro Trip. Like I probably never would have watched any of those movies had I not watched American Pie. So
Nice.
that's why I went with American Pie.
Fair.
Yeah. Next, I went with Jurassic Park because even nowadays I still get a weird hankering to watch the first 3. I don't know why, but as a kid, Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, I thought were amazing. I absolutely love those movies. And going back and watching them as an adult, I still enjoy them. The new ones aren't as good. I enjoy the first, I think 1 or 2. The third one didn't really do it for me, the Chris Pratt trilogy, but
Right.
still
I
Jurassic Park.
think Chris Pratt ruined the premise of Jurassic Park. I mean, the Jurassic Park really thrived because here's just some nerdy scientists trying to do their thing. I mean, now they're trying about raptor tamer and shit. I mean, get the fuck out of here with this shit.
So, and also I think it's just like he just had the like stardom effect to where like he was in everything at the time, and Chris Pratt was the it man, and I was just like, I'm kind of sold out on that. Next, number 8. This is probably my oldest one on there because, again, I don't know why, but being a young kid, like 10 years old, I was watching these movies religiously. The Beverly Hills Cop, and I'm not excited that they're not that they're doing a new one. I wish it would just be the trilogy because that trilogy, I have no idea, but I know it's coming out. I think like next month. Yeah, it's Eddie Murphy.
What?
Still?
Next month? I haven't even heard about this.
Yeah, the new Beverly Hills Cop.
It's Eddie Murphy, and I think it's a Netflix movie.
What?
Yeah,
the
but
heck?
even as
I
a
didn't
cop
even know
at this
about
age,
this.
he should be retired.
Exactly.
What is this be about?
That's what I'm saying. Like they're fucking up my
Unless
good
it is
shit
his
as
retirement.
a kid.
I didn't even know this was happening. This is
really.
crazy.
I could have sworn we talked about this in our chat.
Yeah, because the
maybe I
someone
wasn't paying
posted the
attention.
trailer,
That's
and I
crazy.
think in the trailer they even say something about like this is why we pulled you out of retirement for something.
Yeah,
like he is retired, but he's being.
Oh my god, they're
retirement
gonna John McClane it.
Yeah,
I'm so mad about it. But again, it's not out yet, and that's why I'm going with the trilogy because I love those 3 movies.
What was that?
growing up.
What number was that?
I
Your number 7?
tolerated
That was number 8.
Okay. Garbage with Eddie Murphy and stuff like that, but man, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's my only disappointment with that is they're probably going to end up ruining that with that stupid 4th movie.
But for now, it's great.
Yeah, for now it's great. The next one is possibly going to do the same thing, but I feel about this the way Derek feels about Fast and the Furious. This series is just so fun to me. Is the Bad Boys series. I love every one of those movies, and the 4th one could end up being very bad, but I like the first 3 so far. Next after that, I haven't seen the last one in the series, but I love all of them to this point. I still need to watch the last one. The Purge. I thought all of those movies were very well done. Enjoy that a lot.
I really fell off after like maybe the 2nd or 3rd one.
Really?
Yeah,
the most recent one I saw was the first Purge. I thought it would ended up being pretty good, and then the newest one is like the Forever Purge, which was like, it looks like it's like in the westerns or something like that from the TV cover I saw.
They've kind of got like their own lore thing kind of rolling.
Yeah.
And all that. It seems interesting that it's kind of gone to really a built up a whole little world here.
Yep. So and I enjoy that. Next, I ended up finding a way to keep it on there because I do enjoy all of them. Planet of the Apes, I put at 5.
Okay.
So I couldn't think of one that I was like outside of the box good on this. I was telling Derek, you guys are going to be surprised that I don't have like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars on there, but those just don't have a crazy home in my heart. Like nowadays, I can never say, hey, I'm going to go watch the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings, or I'm going to go watch Pirates of the Caribbean. At the time, love the movies. They were great, but I can't see myself
well, that's
ever
the point of this list.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I was like, yeah, I can do that.
No, but Billy had it on too, and we were like really surprised we said like we just didn't think about it, and like even seeing it brought up again, like I've actually started watching the 2001 Planet of the Apes again. So I'm gonna you guys have convinced me to watch the series, so I'll give it a go.
You haven't watched the new series?
I have, but not to its entirety right now, and I just maybe
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
haven't
I have to
glossed
see
over it,
the
but
newest one that's in
It-
theater right now.
It's
Kingdom.
really good. Again, it's just not the top for me, but it is really good. It's very enjoyable. I think it's very
yeah,
enjoyable.
absolutely. I do remember being highly watchable. I'll have to give it another go.
Yeah.
My number 4 is the Friday series. That is
Yes.
again
Oh my
another
God.
That
fucking
was the one
staple
I
in
was
my
jealous
childhood.
of.
How did we
I
not have
forgot about
that?
Friday, dude.
Oh
I
my
felt so
God,
fucking
dude.
stupid.
Yeah,
He told me Friday, and I was like, "Fucking
Oh,
dumbass!
yeah.
Why didn't I think of Friday?"
That totally deserves to be.
yeah. So and Derek was like, I'm
100%.
surprised or that I couldn't find more comedy to get on there. And I was like, I don't know, man. When I was coming up as a kid, I just remember that's all I watched was comedies. Like that shit was just
Yeah.
in my blood. And Friday is definitely a staple for that. Like I love all of them.
Yeah.
After that, I think you guys are crazy for not having it on your list at all. I don't give a damn about the 4th one, but the Matrix trilogy it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
I stand
Don't
by
care.
that.
Don't care. It's fucking
Can't
phenomenal. Again,
defend
as
2, 3, and 4 to make it so that franchise is even in your
3
top
wasn't
5.
bad. 3 wasn't bad.
Good.
3
No,
had a really.
I
I didn't mind
couldn't
3.
I couldn't even convince myself that 3 was it.
I didn't care for 2, and I really did not like that 4th one. Was ass.
The 4th one
Like you
was
said,
so bad. Like literally, I'm
don't
not
even talk about the 4th one. Just even
Yeah.
the 3. It's just the first one. After that, everything's bad.
Yes. Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
I
It's
all right.
substantially worse everyone. Yeah.
The
I'm
fucking
blurry.
Matrix.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first
they
one is the
really
fucking
bought the
Matrix.
second one though. Like they really started a bad trend.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Anyways, moving on to number 2, the Avengers. They
Of
just
course,
had the world in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
everyone was foaming at the mouth for that. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
number 1 is Harry Potter. Like
Hey.
from front to end, you don't beat that series. There's like they progressive. I'm not gonna say they progressively got better, but there's not a single bad one in the entire franchise.
Yeah.
You good, Adam?
Weird. Yeah, I was waiting
He
for
was
my camera.
blurry for a bit.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
camera
I
was
saw
supposed
that.
I had to like
Well,
refocus my camera. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Nice.
I did like Billy's Transformers take. I just was telling Derek after Shia was gone.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
same
like,
here,
That's
dude.
it. All right.
You
Yeah,
lose
we're all
it.
the
You
same
lose
boat.
it. Yeah.
If
You
Shia
they
was to
fucking
come
lose it.
back, I would lose my mind. I would
Mhm.
go see that
I would
next
go,
movie
yeah.
immediately.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'd buy tickets. I'd go to the
Yeah.
theater for it.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. Because that was another one where as they were coming out, we were fucking midnight release, foaming at the mouth, ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Out of like
That's the other godsend of AI is that eventually we can probably get to a point where we can put Shia into all of the other.
That'll be great.
But that's the thing, like when it comes to like big like movies with big creatures or robots and you have like the human characters playing their characters, Shia's performance dwarfs every single one of everyone else.
It was absolutely flawless.
Dominated.
Absolutely flawless.
If I had to pick one character to stand behind, it's Sam Witwicky right there.
Sam
man.
Witwicky, man.
The energy was just beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my list. I was like, damn, I don't have any kid stuff on. I mean, I guess Harry Potter would be my kid thing, but yeah, I don't have any of the and again, not shitting on Toy Story or Shrek or anything. I enjoy all of that stuff, but yeah. Also, you guys are fucking crazy for the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Crazy to put it on or crazy?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 was so
what?
They're Garfield stands, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were absolutely right about it being just because of the meme culture that movie was also.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
But even disregarding
that were born from that were phenomenal.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 absolutely fucking dump all over anything Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. You know, but
wrong, because Gwen Stacy dumps on everything that happens in all of the fucking trilogy.
For death?
Yes. Yes. This is the fucking realest shit you've ever seen.
Oh, she fell.
We're not looking for a reality
Don't
check.
give
We're just
a
looking for
fuck
some
about
awesome
that.
Spider-Man, okay?
Nah.
If the
Totally
best thing in your
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man movie is Gwen Stacy
No, the
dying,
best thing in Spider-Man was Spider-Man. He is the best Spider-Man. So
he was
like,
great.
there you
He was
go.
great.
He
was
wins.
cool. I
He
have no
fucking
problem
wins.
with him.
He was
He
probably
does.
too cool though. I'll give him
No,
that.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Read a fucking Spider-Man comic book. He's cool as shit. Everyone loves Spider-Man. He's a fucking badass.
That's why he was getting picked on in school.
Exactly. Then he goes into Spider-Man and he's the shit.
Okay, but Andrew
Well,
Garfield.
actually, that is true. As Spider-Man aged, he did get much more confident in everything, and so
Right.
he
Well, sure.
absolutely. Like Spider-Man is legit.
So
full of shit. Like,
confident.
especially the adult Spider-Man. I love the adult Spider-Man. That guy is.
Well, yeah, no, he got so confident that like he got a fucking little emo swish and he danced down the street.
Well,
What
that
says
was-
I
that
got
was-
balls
that was
more
the
than
greatest
that?
thing
that was
ever.
a little too much, man. That was rough. That was
That was the beautiful.
again.
No,
that was
best
hard to
like
swallow, man.
if we're gonna talk about adult Spider-Man, best adult Spider-Man, hands down, Jake Johnson in the Spider-Verse.
Yes, yes,
That's where it's at,
Yes.
man.
Phenomenal.
yes.
Yeah.
But and
Peter B.
if
Parker.
that third one was out, this wouldn't even be a conversation because the
Oh, of course.
Spider-Verse
Yeah, yeah,
Spider-Man
it
would
would
be
be a hands
in
down.
the
Oh,
franchise.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely. And when it does come out, I will
It will be
We'll revise this list. We'll redo
Yeah.
this video.
Exactly.
Just so we can all put it on there.
I will
Yes,
gladly
because
You know,
that
I
is
mean, like-
probably going to shoot up to number one, honestly.
It's
So fucking
The,
good.
the
Roger,
interesting
that's fucking
part
close,
is
man.
that every Spider-Man has been excellent in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
good
Every
thing is
person
like
none
they
of them are
haven't made a
Spider-Man
bad
has always been
Spider-Man.
amazing.
That's
Well,
true.
obviously they've made bad Spider-Man movies, but
Movies,
all the
but-
Spider-Men to this point, Tobey
They've
Maguire,
had
Andrew
good
Garfield, and
moments.
Tom Holland,
So
they've
beautiful that
all
we were
been
able to
good.
get them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were very blessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
I could have used more Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was thrilled to see him, but man, I could have gone for more.
That was one of the coolest parts in those movies was that moment when he realizes that that's
Yeah.
Spider-Man in his backseat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that's fucking cool. It was so exciting.
And like, I think he might be my favorite villain from the Spider, from maybe across all the Spider-Man movies. There,
Damn.
Oh really?
I mean,
I'm not mad at
he
that. He was a
just
really cool
so
villain.
good.
His story made sense.
To take
Right.
what is in other words a B-list villain, right, for Spider-Man, realistic,
I'll
right?
say that too.
And man, just knock it. The acting just elevated that role so much.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I really, he wasn't the iconic, Doc Ock was had an iconic one, Venom obviously, and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but to be Vulture,
Yeah, I mean, and we
to
all know
really
it's all
smash
about that goddamn Topher Grace.
Right.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
How do you
didn't
forget about that?
I
It's
tried to
so
block it out of
good.
my mind. No. I mean, as I was saying Venom, I forgot about the fact that he was
Oh yeah,
Mistake.
man. Eric
That's
Foreman?
the best fucking villain right there.
that was hard, and then it's hard because like it's the exact opposite problem that I have with Red Foreman, whereas Red Foreman is terrifying. Like once I see him play the villain in RoboCop, I
In
can't even see it.
RoboCop, yes.
Yes.
But the same problem is once I've seen Eric Foreman, I can't unsee that and accept him as Venom.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
You see whiny Eric Foreman in the basement.
That's all
Right.
it is. That's
Turn
all
into
it is.
Venom.
That's exactly it.
I mean, at least we can all agree that we just love Spider-Man. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to dominate both across cinema and in video games because really the Spider.
I was gonna bring up the games too. Yeah, they're so fucking good.
They've been
Oh,
solid.
I feel like I've been
great.
talking about that recently where I was like, Spider-Man is just one of those heroes that doesn't really have any haters. Like nobody has much bad to say about
Yeah,
Spider-Man. He's just
it.
dope.
Yeah, they're gonna go down as a great franchise and everything. You know what we haven't talked about because I got distracted with Spider-Man Legos and we had the showcase piece with the Horizon Zero Dawn Lego game that's going to be.
Oh, yeah,
coming
yeah.
out as well. But
they're doing a Lego for Horizon?
it's
I
the
didn't know
first
that.
time Lego has done a series based on not a movie but another video game series, and I think that's actually kind of a turning point in some of these
That's
games.
Interesting.
Right now, right? So think
Wait,
about
so
that.
is it Sony exclusive?
I don't. I mean, actually,
I don't know why, but God
I-
of War Lego seems like it would be a huge thing.
That would be dope.
and
That
you
would be
might
so
start
fucking
seeing
cool.
some of these things.
Yeah,
You
that
might
would be
start seeing
very
now
interesting.
the video game becoming the meta of what what we're gonna make a skin off of, right? And that's
That
interesting.
would be
It's Lego
cool.
making big moves because then
Well, I
they
mean,
also
think about it. A lot of but a lot of
Mhm.
shows now are being based more and more off video games, as opposed to
Yeah.
other things. And it's interesting. Now we're seeing a world that revolves more around video games than it does other media. And that's fascinating.
It's
Yeah,
cool
it's gonna
'cause
be
they're
exciting.
actually showing that like they see what people are interested in. Gaming is so popular right now. People are making a living off just playing video games.
Well,
now.
those
It
the
makes
boomers are on
sense,
their way out, man. It's now everyone plays video games, bud.
Right?
right? So it makes sense to be making, the Lego game and shit like that, and doing like I said, like with the shows with Fallout and Last of Us, and
Yep.
and them succeeding the way they have.
Yeah, Lego's also making big moves with Pharrell. He's doing a biopic.
Yeah, that was
And
crazy.
he's doing it as a Lego movie.
As a Lego. That's so interesting.
Huh?
He's doing
Yeah.
Pharrell's doing a biopic about his life, but it's going to be in Lego animation.
What
movie
the
style.
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Is it-
the
or, like,
first I've heard of this.
It's an
like
instant
piece by
classic.
piece or something.
Instant classic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe I have the name wrong. I don't know, but it
I'd
looks.
show it, but I know there's a lot of
No,
copyrighted
you're
music
good.
and all that.
You're
No,
Yeah.
no, you're good.
I'll look that up afterwards. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's the first I've heard about that.
It just got announced today, right?
I think it was
Oh,
announced
okay.
yesterday. I saw it yesterday.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I just heard about it today.
It could have been even a day before that. I don't know, but it just recently or yesterday is when I saw it.
Right on.
Can I get? I must quickly talk about a confession I have to make.
Let's hear it.
This is my confession. I have something to show you guys. Let's see if I can freaking pull this up right quick, though.
He played Hellblade 2 and he loved it. There was so much action.
All right. So this is the thumbnail, right? That I made for our top 10s.
Mhm.
So I was struggling to get AI to capture some of the faces. So I started pulling our faces in, and it was able to like mash it in really nicely. That's why I got Matt's face looks normal on there. My face is one of my faces I made. Billy's is fine. For Derek and Nick, I had the hardest time whenever I put their face on their body.
I already know what he's gonna say.
It would refrain from making their skin wouldn't be green. It would just be regular skin color. And I was like, I would need it to be green because their characters in this thumbnail are green. So I was trying over and over. It took forever. I finally got Nick's. Trying over and over with Derek's. It was just not going through. I tried multiple things with Derek's face and it just wouldn't go through. So I threw in the towel and I told AI to make bald Seth Rogen in the back.
I knew it. I knew it from the fucking jump.
I didn't know it from the jump, but as soon as you
my
said you threw, I was like, oh no.
I really tried, Derek.
You
I
want to know
really
what's funny?
tried.
You want to know what's funny? Is I saw this and I was like, why do I look weird? Because it's not me. That's why. That's why I look weird.
That makes sense.
It's so funny.
Oh, yep.
So yeah, that's my confession I have to make. I'm sorry, Derek.
I'm glad to know
Must
that
be
I'm
times,
not in
man.
the thumbnail of this. That's great. So it's you guys and an actor. That's cool. That's cool. I fucks with it.
Although, man, really, if Seth Rogen bulks up, man, he could be a pretty cool Hulk.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Am I in the Lazy Susan logo? Or our pictures in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
look at him
that's
now,
where I
backtracking
am.
to make sure. Yeah,
That's
There
where I
he
am.
is.
So I am
That's
on
good
here. All
he's
right,
never
cool,
gonna
cool,
sleep
cool.
anymore.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I
I'll
really
double
tried,
check
Derek. I
Every
really-
picture with me. You're sick.
You're sick. Oh, that's great.
That's
I'm sorry,
That is
insanity.
great.
Nah, you're good, man.
Meanwhile,
That's
man, I would pay
crazy.
some good money to see that Back to the Future money. I hope if they do it, they do that.
Now you want them to fuck with your franchise?
If it's that train wreck, oh my god, are you kidding me? You know what that would look like with Chris Pratt and Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Dwayne the Rock
Scott
Johnson?
Brown, are you kidding me? That would be
Yeah, that'd be pretty
hilarious.
It really would be hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be a riot, man.
Oh, I guess to break the rule, if I did have an honorable mention, it would be Tremors.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
You know, they get weird.
That's
They
rough.
get weird, but it's like
Weird, but
it gets the right kind of weird.
When they
Yeah.
started flying, I was like, "What the?"
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Fine. It was rough.
Fucking flying, heat seeking.
Yeah.
That's my fucking
Crazy.
Fast and the Furious right there.
I was gonna say,
I-
if anything, that's your Fast and the Furious.
I could watch that first one all day long, though.
Oh, I
First one's
loved it.
Great.
No.
The first one's
Absolutely
so
loved
good.
it. And honestly, the second one wasn't bad either.
No, right.
But
second one was
the
right.
third one, when they went back to the fucking Wild Wild West, it derailed the whole thing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the first and second one, they were good.
Mm-mm-mm.
Again, old movies. I was born in the wrong era, man. Should have been born like 10 years earlier and could have really experienced this shit.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Also, in whoops, my bad, Derek. This thumbnail.
Oh, hello.
So the background in the background pictures, I used the all the Avengers movies, but then I did sneak in Ninja Turtles 3
got
I
in
can
Ninja
there.
see that,
Three.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was gonna be another one that I was gonna try and fit into my list because I watched it a lot as a kid, but
It's just,
I just
so hard too. with
yeah,
that
I
movie.
couldn't.
I mean, the frenzy that show sparked. I mean, like
It
you
was
realize
so
that
good.
during the time period when this movie was at its height, there was actually like stage like off stage performances that you could like pay money to go see them, all the guys in the costume doing stupid little rap dances and everything like that. Like they would do all
Oh
kinds of,
yeah.
like at the height of it, like it was nuts, man. Like the Ninja Turtles were everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
absolutely.
badass.
The amount of Ninja Turtles merchandise I had growing up was insane, and it was the best time in the world to have.
Well, that was the coolest thing, was that like you had the fucking van, and we
Yeah.
were like, oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
got the whole thing. Matt always had everything,
And it
He had
shot these
all
little
the Power
pizza
Ranger
slice
shit,
faces
all
out.
the Ninja Turtle shit.
Matt did have
was
some of the
amazing.
coolest fucking toys. That's for
Amazing,
sure.
man.
That thing.
I remember
Oh, yeah, the
Willie
thing
flew
you
out
could
to
shot
California
lasers,
to audition to be like one of the Foot Clan members.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So crazy. Yeah, that
Damn.
little TV van was cool.
If it wasn't for that third movie, man, they would have still had it.
Ah,
Right.
Yeah, because those first two were awesome, man.
Those first two were amazing. I don't know why they decided to go time traveling here.
Yeah, that was weird.
Which
It
is
always ruins
also,
it, man.
You know, I say that, but then you go to video games, and Turtles in Time is like one of the best video games of theirs.
That's cool. It's just, I don't know, for some reason it doesn't work well with movies.
Translate.
Oh no, it didn't. Especially at the time. I mean, it was an awkward move considering the first two were set in one time period. You know,
Right. And man, Secret of the Ooze was.
Secret of the Ooze was that was the high. Once you got
that.
Vanilla Ice in on the deal, you know that you
It's so good.
in mid '90s, you knew that you hit gold right there, man. And
The
every
intro
kid
to the
knew
movie
that
was
song.
so great.
Every kid knew that song.
Oh yeah. That was one of the cool things with this new movie too. When they threw the song in there for like 3 seconds, the animated movie, I was like, oh
Yes.
no shit! They
That
put in
animated movie was
The animated
freaking
movie was
gold,
awesome.
man. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
good.
That thing was exactly what they should be doing because that was perfect.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The newest one?
Yeah.
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 The animated style, man. That
Yeah.
Spider-Man
It's
really.
it's
Yeah.
great. It
really
is so
taken
good.
over.
I don't know if it's true, but if James Gunn really did turn down them offering to do a Batman Beyond in that style, that's tragic
Oh my
because
god.
that's literally
Yeah.
perfect.
That really would
Crazy.
make a great next movie series as the
Yeah,
Batman
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's true or not. I don't know if he
Dude.
did turn it down or if that is still going.
Batman Beyond was sick growing up. That
I
was like
don't-
the one fucking Batman thing where I was like, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah.
As far as
That's the thing where we're talking about. Oh, we don't want anyone to fuck with this original thing. That's the one thing we want them to fucking bring back and do, but they just ignore it, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond was the shit. So many
Batman
people
Beyond and
loved it.
Static Shock. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
bring it back.
DC just doesn't mess with them, and they literally are their saving grace. They don't even know that that's their saving grace.
It would be so fucking good, man. Batman Beyond, if they started it up again with some new animation, or
Could you imagine it in Spider-Verse animation style?
it would have
Oh
been
no,
that
no,
would be so
I'm
good.
even talking going to do the live action. Do a live
Do
action.
a live
Oh,
action.
absolutely.
That they fucked up with Keaton in the Flash fucking movie, man.
Well,
That's how
even before that, they were gonna do one with Batgirl, and it was gonna be with Keaton, and then they axed it. They shot the movie and they axed it.
give me Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as
Absolutely,
Bruce
that was
Yeah, that
their
makes complete
moneymaker.
sense.
They're
Wayne.
refusing
What?
to.
That's a
It's
brilliant idea.
common sense.
They built up this fan base from
So
all these
fucking
children who are
good.
now adults, and they're like, "Yeah, never mind, guys." And it's like, dude, this is your money right here.
And DC just said, you know what? We're gonna make shitty things instead. That's what we're gonna do.
Their
We're gonna
decisions.
do the
Again,
second
you
Wonder
know, they-
Woman. We're gonna do all this Aquaman bullshit. I still
But
haven't
this
seen
is
an
what happens
Aquaman
when you
movie.
don't lead the trend, right? They didn't lead the trend. Marvel led the trend, and DC
Yeah.
was just running to catch up the whole time, and it never worked for them.
Right.
And then they ran out of ideas of what the hell they were going to do, and they just never could nail their own thing. They tried to have this expansive universe thing like the Justice League, and it failed miserably.
Mhm.
It's just
It really sucks because it would be so dope
they
to
could do
have
stuff
the
with it, yeah.
counterpoint to, like, if we had DC equivalent of the Marvel Cinematic Universe up until
Great.
like Endgame, that would be so dope. Because like I can't really talk about Phase 4 because I haven't seen a lot of the content for Phase 4, but like that fucking cinematic shit where all those movies were coming out, it all tied into the Avengers and Endgame, it all led up to that. If we could have the equivalent of that for sure the Justice League, everyone has their own spin-off thing, that would be phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm cool with them not doing it too, like because there are in random places there's good ones. Like I liked the new Batman movie. It wasn't amazing, but it was fine. I'm excited for this Penguin show coming out.
Yeah.
That looks fucking dope. I like
The Joker too.
I was gonna say the
Joker.
Joker's really
I'm a
good right
little
now.
nervous about 2.
Yeah, it's kind of a.
I don't understand why they're making it a musical. That's
Right.
a little
Huh?
nervous. That's news to you?
What?
Todd.
Oh, that's it.
Todd, that was one of the first things they announced when they said they were doing Joker 2. That's why Harley Quinn is Lady Gaga.
I thought everyone was just tripping because Harley Quinn was Lady Gaga.
No, it's because it's a musical.
No.
Yeah.
I was like,
why
they got
I'm
Gaga.
nervous.
What the fuck she know about movies?
I like Gaga. What the fuck does she know about? Oh, that's funny. Oh my god, I didn't know that. That's very disappointing because that first Joker movie I
was
love
super good.
so much. It's so good. It's so like humanizing and like real. Oh, that's such a fucking bummer.
So here's
Todd's already
the
writing
problem.
it off.
I really am. I really am.
It's hard, dude. That's why I'm saying I'm nervous. I watched the trailer.
What if
It
it's a
looks pretty
banger
good.
though?
It looks good. I like music. I like Joker. Maybe put them together, it'll work. I don't see how it'll work. I think it's gonna fail, but I still have to watch it because I didn't want the original one either. When they first said they were making a Joker movie,
yeah.
I didn't want it. I wanted no fucking part of that movie. I was like, an origin story? Who the fuck cares? We all know who the Joker is. I don't need that. Then I saw it and I was like, I guess I needed this because
Yeah.
fucking great. That was a great movie. And then they were like, we're making a second one. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I want to see him like become the Joker. And then, or like not become, but like,
Be the
more into it.
Joker.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
the Joker. And they're like, it's a musical. And your reaction right now was my reaction at that moment too. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, I don't know,
Why?
man. If they both tell the story of him becoming the Joker and it's a musical, I am in for something like that.
I hope it's good.
I can't think of a single musical that I enjoy. Like,
Are you kidding me?
I'm not. Like, I'm gonna say fucking Hamilton, and
That's not a movie. That's not movies.
Okay, well then, Into the Heights. That's it.
Oh, movies?
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I don't care about Les Mis. I don't care about the new Mean Girls. Like none of that shit.
Because those are the classics, right? So I'll tell you, my favorite in-person musical that I've ever attended was Evil Dead the musical, because that thing was phenomenal.
Okay,
It was amazing,
yeah.
right?
If you're going to a
I mean,
live action of something, you are
People were
attending that.
covered
That's
in
different. I'm
fucking
not. I'm
blood.
talking about
It was
a
amazing.
musical that you're like what is it? La La Land?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
What I'm getting at is that the nature of musicals has to be changing, right? And I think this is one of those attempts. They're going to try and
Maybe.
I still
I
think
mean-
tell the story of the Joker, but in a musical medium, which is going to be interesting.
So okay, well, I think we're all ignoring Grease. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably.
Don't- Grease is great. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Moulin Rouge is a good movie, and
that's true.
Across the Universe. I know Matt is against the Beatles, but Across the Universe
I'm not against the Beatles. It was a great movie. It was a great movie.
Across the Universe was fucking awesome. And they
The only
said,
one
"What
I
is-"
can give you is Grease. I did forget about Grease.
Have you never seen
But
Across the
again-
Universe?
No.
Fantastic movie.
solid.
But here's the other thing: is these aren't gonna. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, give it a chance, give it a chance. I'm just, I don't know. I hope it's
Well, even
good.
like
But they
Chicago.
did say-
Chicago was a phenomenal. movie.
Chicago was good. Chicago was good too. Yeah. I'm saying they said that there's gonna be a lot of songs that everybody knows too. I don't know if that's like a selling point. I don't know what songs they're gonna be, but there's a lot of fucking music in it. I forgot what the number was, but
In the Joker you're talking about?
in the Joker, yeah.
I would
he said-
assume Bad Romance is gonna be in there. If it's a Lady
if
Gaga,
they're doing
like-
Lady Gaga music, I might be a little upset, but we'll see.
but it's that literally is them.
Bad Romance
hope
kind
they-
of works for them, though. I'm not
I hope
gonna
that they
lie.
do make
Yeah.
songs for the movie though.
Yeah,
Well,
Bad
it's a
Romance
lot of
would work.
songs that people know. I'm assuming that they
true.
would have a mixture.
Also true.
I don't know if they're gonna have originals though. I'm not
If it's
sure.
not, then Lady Gaga actually has a lot of songs that might work out for it.
I mean, I like. I don't.
Oh, I fucking love Lady Gaga. I'm not
I like
shitting on
Lady
Lady
Gaga.
Gaga music.
Gaga.
I don't know. I mean, aside from Bad Romance, I don't know what song really works for Joker and Harley Quinn.
Judas,
But
Poker Face.
it doesn't really matter. She can sing, so it'll be whatever. I'm still gonna watch it because I loved the first one, and I have hopes that this will still be good. It's just so weird that it's a musical.
Yeah.
So
I truly had this is heart
that's
aching.
crazy that you've never heard this. This has been known for like
She can play
ever
telephone
since
with
it got announced.
Beyonce.
Like right when it got
I
announced,
literally
they
all
said
I
it
knew was
amazing.
Joker 2 was coming out and Lady Gaga was gonna be in it as Harley Quinn.
Crazy
And I
that
was
you
like,
knew
all right,
Lady
cool.
Gaga was in it and that it wasn't a musical. Like I feel like it was called a musical before Lady Gaga even got announced.
That's how disconnected I was from it. I was just like, cool.
Well,
I like the first
yeah.
one. Let's go.
I don't even
Is there
know
a
if I
trailer
really-
out for it? I don't think I've seen a trailer.
It's what,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how do you get over what Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, right? I mean, that's
So my thing with
really a
that,
great, and that's
she's solid.
awesome at
Just
it.
plug
I loved
for it.
her. I loved her as Harley Quinn. But
Different
I'm
universe.
okay with- yeah, it's a different universe, so I'm okay with
it's a
changing it up.
shittier universe.
Sure. I like Lady Gaga's look, the look they're giving her for Harley Quinn. I do think the scene where they're both doing the little dancing walk down the stairs is kind of forced, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up after this because okay. Wow. Sorry about that. Anyways,
DC, yeah, no, the Joker, good. They got a few things, and they're just not putting it all together, and that's fine. Like I said, I'm excited for the Penguin show because that looks like it'll be good.
and that's the same
watch the
guy.
next Batman.
That's the Penguin from the new Batman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Colin
Yeah.
Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Thank you.
The makeup job is awesome, and I think they did a really
Yeah.
good job with the Penguin because
Yeah,
in all these other, I mean, everybody like Danny DeVito's great, but this guy's like a more like gangster version of Penguin, and I really like
Mhm.
that. I'm excited for
Like
I
more
guess,
closer to like Gotham.
Yeah, I never
No,
watched
it was
it.
look good.
It was a decent show. It was a decent show.
Yeah. I probably should watch that. I never
Because
really
there's,
heard terrible things about it.
it gets boring really after maybe
Mm.
like season 3 or something like that. It kind of,
Okay.
but like Penguin was more of like a henchman kind of guy, and then he started coming into his own as more of a kind of gang boss kind of thing around the area. So it was
Okay.
interesting. The guy who plays it was pretty good.
Wanted to bring up revising the bingo card, but we did hit our 2-hour mark. I was like, that might take a while as well. I'm not sure how long you guys are trying to stay up.
Yeah, we ain't gotta revise it. I mean, it's,
Yeah, I
Right.
was gonna say, what do we have
It
to
is what
revise?
it
Just
is.
put
Technically
dots on the
take off.
things that are already marked.
Announced. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, not really something we need to do.
I mean, I could always hit you guys up in the chat tomorrow. I might go glance over them to make sure, because I have to like revise it to change the quality of those images. I was just zoomed into the picture, but they were small pictures, so when I blew them up, they all came out hard to read and pixelated. So I'll have to just revise that on my own just to clear up the quality on those images. But other than that, that was it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to The Lazy Susan. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. Think about subscribing to the channel, checking out our other videos. You guys take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Signing off, Adam, Derek, Todd, and Matt.
Have a good one.